Now, most Americans surveyed, 59% say abortion should be legal. Support for a national law allowing abortion grows beyond that to 65%. However, for those who say a ban on the procedure should start somewhere, most of respondents, 48%, favor 24 weeks.
That's Fox's Gernal Scott. Nobody hit the Powerball jackpot again last night, so the fortune grows again, up to $935 million for Saturday. America's listening to Fox.
Pure Talk believes in American values, and that free should mean exactly that. Free. Switch to Pure Talk today and get a free Samsung 5G smartphone. Qualifying plans start at just $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, 15 gigs of data, and mobile hotspot. Just go to puretalk.com/puretalk and claim your eligibility for your free brand new Samsung 5G smartphone. Again, go to puretalk.com/puretalk to switch to Pure Talk today.
Hey, it's Jesse Kelly. Are you still on the fence about owning gold? It's time to pull the trigger with the Oxford Gold Group and buy gold and silver. Nobody can predict the future, but we can't put our head in the sand either. The Oxford Gold Group are the pros. They make owning gold and silver simple and easy to understand. Call Oxford Gold Group right now, and you may qualify for up to $10,000 in free precious metals. Call 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD.
The Morning Extra, only on Extra 106.3.
Morning, y'all. It's Thursday. This is the Morning Extra. Tug, Rhino, and front office Los. And I can't remember. Is it supposed to be pretty today? Like yesterday we had...
Yes.
Is it? Are we back to good weather?
I thought so.
Are we back? Let me pull up my app here.
I looked yesterday, but you know how this changes every day?
Yes. And yesterday afternoon did turn out to be really pretty, right?
Man.
But in the morning it was all weird, like, and cloudy and foggy and weird. So
afternoon 66 and sunny, 0% chance of rain.
And if anybody needs it, we'll tell them again. Yeah, in a little while.
Yeah, give us you know what? We're not going to do it every 6 minutes, but
maybe once an hour or something.
Once an hour.
We'll talk about how pretty it's going to be.
Unless for some drastic reason it goes from 66 degrees to 12.
Yes, then
we're going to be like, hey, we got an emergency.
Believe what is happening with the El Nino or the El Nino.
Global cooling, heating, I don't know.
That's right. That's exactly right. Did you see I was talking to a friend that I have immense respect for. She is a very smart woman. And we went back and forth about green energy. And she's convinced that green energy is real. I'm convinced that it is a marketing ploy. And so we didn't get into like an argument necessarily, but you could just tell when I was
tensions were getting a little bit there.
So I was just like, well, it don't even matter, man. Let's talk about something else. And then I read this morning, or it was late last night, and again I picked it back up this morning that out in, what is the name of the place out in Texas anyway, where that it was like a 35 acres of solar panels.
Yes.
And then these big hail storm, because we're talking about weather, the hail was coming down, and some of them were baseball-sized hail, and we goofed about that like we've never seen anything that big before. That's
like baseball, softball size.
That's huge.
That's ridiculous.
And it smashed 35 acres worth of solar panels. And now they're very concerned about the ecological fallout.
You mean like I was warning for months upon months upon months upon months?
Everybody
way before
Everybody has.
The leakage of, we've seen this in Missouri. We've already seen it. And they keep doing this. And those kind of storms, this is going to ruin that farmland forever.
Now they're concerned about that green energy, the fallout getting into the water supply.
Yep.
As we've discussed ad nauseum. And I just want to send her, my friend, the email with the link to the story and be like, green energy, huh? You really believe in it, huh?
Yeah.
Is it still as green as you think it is, or is it still a marketing scheme like we've told you it is?
When you say that green energy is so important for the environment and then you kill 12 whales in Long Island by putting in wind blenders or air blenders, That's a problem. You killed more while installing these things than have died from any other kind of, climate change or whatever. No, none of them have boiled in the ocean like you continue to do. This is a huge problem. And again, it's an energy maker or a money maker. The energy market in general, people need it. So, of course, it's a moneymaker. They're trying to move away from the oil because they know they're losing because they already gave up energy independence. So now they're trying to replace that energy independence with green energy, and it's a failure. We've seen it fail in the EV market. Everybody was told you're going to get a car. Now everybody's going, oh, no, we don't want it. This is a huge problem. And we're not going to get away with it unless we start voting out some of these people.
These clowns, that fall for the marketing scheme. Well, you know what? The politicians, they know it's a marketing scheme. Mm-hmm. They know that you're either drilling for oil or you're mining for minerals to make batteries to make, supposed green energy. So you're telling me one, bad to dig into the earth, the other, just fine to dig into the earth. It just makes no sense. It's a well-done marketing ploy, and it's working because even friends who I know that are conservative, this is a conservative woman, and she's convinced that EVs are going to revolutionize the world, and it's going to make it great, and we're not going to lose the glaciers and solar caps or snow caps, whatever it is that they say, and with Antarctica and places like that, the ice caps, I guess the polar ice caps is what I'm talking about. But this is a conservative woman that has fallen for the marketing of the left.
Oh, absolutely. And when you think about John Kerry. Think about all the money that he has sitting on a boat with John Kennedy. I mean, this man and his family has been entrenched in politics his entire life. Never had a job, went to Yale for a political science degree, and has made millions upon millions of dollars on what? On climate change by lying to people. And he flies around everywhere and then tells you that he gets carbon credits, but you don't. If that doesn't tell you about the white elites that run this, and yes, he may be a Democrat, but believe me, there are plenty of establishment Republicans right there alongside with him going, how do I capitalize on this? How does my family get generational wealth by robbing the American people? So there are many of them out there, and that's why these are so dangerous. Because you know what? No matter what people say, we talked about this last night too, me and my friends, we were talking about this ridiculous idea of climate change when it is cyclical, when you do factor in science, and even Neil deGrasse Tyson saying, look, the earth will always warm up to a point where it will always refreeze itself. It happens all the time. This is something that you can use and you can distract with and charge money for and take it from the taxpayers.
There you go.
Make them feel guilty.
It's a nice marketing ploy. Just like anything else that you hear that's convincing you to buy something, to do something, to act a certain way, to wear a certain brand. I mean, marketing works.
Yeah.
That's the reason people do it. In lighter news, the NCAA basketball tournament continues today. Sweet 16 starts today. Ooh. And I'm sure, that people will still be watching and eager to see how their brackets have done. Because most of them,
if anybody has a bracket left,
has been destroyed.
There can't be one perfect bracket left.
No. I think after the first weekend, right? I mean, it's 9.2 quintillion.
It ended on the second day.
Yeah, exactly. So,
yeah. But that's the most fun of it too.
I agree.
4 days.
Yeah, I agree. It makes it so much fun. And the office poll, my wife is, she filled out the bracket, threw in the $20, and so she keeps up. She wants to watch the games,
really,
and keep up with every year.
For her.
She loves March Madness. It's probably her favorite sporting time of year.
Absolutely.
And I love
many women get involved in this. It's funny to see. And a lot of it,
because you got a reason to when you throw your 20 in, even though your bracket's busted, can you still win the pool?
Yeah, and a lot of people have gone to one of these schools, and with 64 teams in there, I mean, a lot of women are like, hey, that's my team. I'm going to support them no matter what. It's a lot of fun to watch. I don't know. I didn't get into it at all this year. A little bit. I watched it. You know, if
I've
it's
watched a
on,
bunch.
I've watched.
I've watched a ton.
But I have not seen one full game. I've only seen the end of like 5 or 6 games, maybe, you know, flipping through. But I just haven't had. I wanted baseball so bad today.
Yeah. Well,
I wanted baseball so bad.
it is.
Stupid Philly.
It is opening day after all. Sing it together, everybody. Take me out to the ball game. Maybe we shouldn't sing. We're not going to. We're really bad at this.
Yeah, we should just let Goey.
Like Goey. Yeah.
I don't care if I'll ever get
Okay,
back.
never mind.
Room for the home.
I didn't know.
I thought he
You're a
sang better than
vocalist.
this.
Yeah.
When it's a shame.
Okay, enough with you. Enough
Yeah.
with you. But
I like to
sound
sing
like
it like I'm
SpongeBob.
drunk.
well, you did a good job.
That's usually how I am in like the 7th inning.
Okay, yeah. Well, most people are, I suppose.
Gosh.
Yeah, but baseball. It is opening day, but the Braves, obviously, and the Phillies, they've canceled opening day, and then we'll do that tomorrow because of rain up there.
I hope we do it tomorrow. I mean,
Yeah, well,
who
fingers
knows
crossed.
how the rain's going to go through.
crossed.
Yeah, New York and Milwaukee also starting. We're supposed to start today, but because the Northeast is getting drenched, I guess they canceled all the baseball up there.
Well,
Stinks.
yeah, it does. But
There's plenty to watch, though.
yeah, well, there'll be other games, so it'd be good. But the teams that at least this show cares about have all been, and have all been canceled on freaking opening day. We've been talking about this for months, and it comes to the day. It's Thursday. You remember Monday?
Thursday.
It's
Yeah.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Yay!
Can't wait till Thursday. Baseball Thursday. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we got the excitement going down, at the Dome today, the Gold Dome.
Under the
So
Gold Dome. That's exactly
they're
right.
going for 10 a.m. till probably a little after midnight tonight. That's going to be crazy.
Well, do you think they'll get anything that we care about done? Because most of the time they don't.
I would hope so. I mean, you got some big bills in there. Obviously, the $36 billion budget needs to get done today, so I'm sure that'll get through. Changes to some of the election rules, immigration enforcement. I mean, I think those are the 3 people are going to watch more than anything else. You still have the restrictions on transgender youth. Boys trying to play girls' sports.
Yeah.
So there are going to be restrictions for that. We'll see if they actually get through today, but I'm sure they will. This is one of those days, though, that you got to be careful because everybody's going to create some kind of Frankenbill. These bills come flying fast. You barely have any time to read them or vet out anything that was put in them. You vote on them, and then they get a chance to go to the governor's desk. And hopefully, some of them, if they get through that are ridiculous, the governor will veto. Otherwise, if they're good bills, they get through, and he signs them. So we'll see how that goes. Sports betting also is out there. So today's the day for that. I doubt that's going to get through.
Yeah, I
hope so.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine if it does. That's one that it just doesn't matter to me.
You and me both.
I don't expect that it'll get through.
Right. I want them to capitalize on the money made for it, but I could care less.
Absolutely, because I don't participate, so I don't. I mean, like Lois, I know is big into it.
I'm rooting for our buddy.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Give him the chance to do. As he's stuck in traffic,
and the delinquents down the hall.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
those delinquents down there too.
That's right. Give them the opportunity. But it's one that I truly don't care about, one way or another. Any way the wind blows is fine with me. I see the practical part about the taxes, but then I see the other parts that aren't as good, where people, screw themselves up.
Yeah.
But in that argument, you lose because if they want to, they're going to with the lottery. They're going to Cherokee. But like I said, it just doesn't matter to me.
I get that point, but when it starts to affect, like the casino thing would be a very, very big deal to me because I just don't. I grew up in Atlantic City on the summers, and I saw and as a kid, yes, the fun part was going to the boardwalk and playing skee ball and going to the beach and doing that, but I didn't see the politics behind what it was doing to that city or how it dragged down Atlantic City and the crime rates rise and the drug rates rise, those kind of things. So that's a real fear for me because I used to love Atlantic City when I was young. As I started to grow up, I was more scared of being there. It was more dangerous, and I watched that place just kind of fall apart.
You brought up kids and allowing kids that identify as a different gender or different sex to play, specifically boys and girls sports. If it were the other way, it's not that big a deal, but it never happens that way. I wonder why.
Right.
There was a Reuters article And it said it was an anonymous survey of elite British sports women. And it said 70% are uncomfortable with transgender athletes competing in the female sport that they participate in. Get this next number, though. 67 of those same percentage feel uncomfortable speaking publicly about it because they're going to be labeled this, that, or the other thing. So they're afraid to compete because they're afraid they're going to be hurt or whatever the reasoning, or maybe it's a locker room thing. Whatever it is, 70% of these women are uncomfortable with it. 67 uncomfortable just talking about it because they know they're going to be just beat down.
That's the kind of fear that you're supposed to put on people when you're trying to get your way. That's what the left does.
Mission accomplished. Mission accomplished.
Right. You don't want to be labeled as a racist or transphobic, but you also want to be able to have those thoughts and feelings like, hey, this is unfair to my daughter. This is unfair to my sister and my mother. This is unfair. And you should be able to say that and put that out there. But yeah, if you do, then you're labeled as a transphobe. And a lot of people are not that way. They just feel like, hey, this is the way it should be. Sorry, I just recognize that biologically these two things are different. It's that easy for me to realize.
Me too.
You're wearing a costume. You're making yourself up. I'm sorry. I hate to say it to you. You can feel however you want. You want to feel like a woman. You want to be a woman in your mind. That's great. But again, there's a difference between acceptance and tolerance. I'm tolerant of you. I'll never accept the fact that you are a real woman because you're not. So you'll have to understand that. But I am tolerant of you. And if you want to go play this sport, then you have to play at the level that you're a man. Sorry, biologically, you're going to play with the men. You can look like the most beautiful woman in the world playing out there as a man, but I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to take that and go, you know what? I'm not good enough to be a man, so I'm going to go play a girl sport. Or you're not going to go into a locker room. I'm sorry.
That's
not with it all attached, and it's disgusting. I hate to say it, it's disgusting. You can call me transphobe. I'm not afraid of any of you. I'm not afraid of any of that. I want you to live a happy life. I want you to feel loved. I want you to find a relationship that makes you happy. I don't want you interfering with my children or putting what you think needs to be thought about and how you're supposed to be thought about into my child's head.
Morning Extra on Extra 1063, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station.
Can I give you this headline to start with?
Yes. Oh, yes. Welcome, Lois. Welcome.
After getting caught in some traffic, which is fine, then my lunch opened up in my book bag.
No!
What, just now?
Dude, it's like... It's a tough morning,
buddy. That's the worst when it starts like this because
look at it. I mean, I see it. I know it's in here. I know it's in the book. It's in the book bag. It's got to be
coming out the side.
I've had that happen before.
All right, I'm gonna go clean that up.
Lowe's has a tough start to his Thursday. We're hoping yours is a little bit better.
Yeah, here are your top stories in the state of Georgia for today, Thursday, March 28th. Carlos Medina's day is ruined, but it's also the final day of the legislative session under the Gold Dome. The frenzy begins at 10 a.m. and usually stretches past midnight as lawmakers try to push through bills that may or may not have been vetted out. As the 40-day legislative session comes to a close, lawmakers will be voting on a $36 billion budget, changes to election rules, stricter immigration enforcement, and restrictions on transgender use. 35-year-old Raquan Rose was arrested by Cobb County Police after he assaulted several women at the Kroger on Powers Ferry Road in Marietta. Witnesses told police that Mose had walked around the store and touched 4 women's buttocks while in the store. Cobb County Police Sergeant Eric Smith also said the suspect was wearing a hooded sweatshirt but no pants and no underwear at the time. Mose was charged with 4 counts of sexual battery and willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. And in sports, the Hawks have won 3 in a row after a 30-point performance by DeJounte Murray led the Hawks to a 120-106 win over the Portland Trail Blazers. The Atlanta Braves will wait one more day before opening their 2024 season as rain has postponed the game till tomorrow.
All right, I got a hypothetical for you, and I want you to just think about it, and we'll talk about it on the other side of the break. If you had the chance, would you take $1 million with 100% odds of getting it? Or would you take 75% odds at $100 billion? One would change your life. The other, make you the richest, so at least among the richest people in the world. Ponder that. We'll talk about it next on Extra 1063.
Hey, it's Flounder, and The Kimmer Show is live every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m.
Duty, honor, country are no longer in the United States Military Academy's mission statement. How in the hell is that possible?
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
I've said it a bunch of times. I want to say it again because your car is yellow right now. Doesn't matter what color your car was when you bought it. It is yellow right now. Your home, your safe space, where you spend time with your family and your friends, can now be made safer with Central Heating and Air Conditioning. Central has systems in place that include healthy, fresh, clean, allergen-free air with proper ventilation. Listen to what I'm saying. If you don't want to sneeze, if you don't want to cough, if you don't want any of those things happening while in your house because your house has dirty air, then call Central Heating and Air Conditioning because they can fix that for you. Yes, they can fix your HVAC if it's not working. You know, you want it warm when it's cold outside and cool when it's warm outside. Yes, all that. They can do that. With regular maintenance, they can make that system last a really long time. And if you've not done maintenance and now your system's on the fritz and you need a new carrier system, they're your Atlanta carrier experts. They can fix that too. They'll give you a great deal. I mean, I just was on centralheat.com. They had 0% financing. You can save up to $1,700 on that new carrier system. So those things they can do. But your home, your safe space, get that healthy, fresh, clean, allergen-free air with proper ventilation. Let them help you make your house as allergen-free as it can possibly be. Call them at 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com.
Pack your bags and join the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets football team in Dublin, Ireland as Toby's Leather to kick off the 2024 football season in Dublin. The Aer Lingus College Football Classic will feature your Yellow Jackets versus the Florida State Seminoles in a special Week 0 matchup on August 24th, 2024. Don't miss this unique opportunity to visit one of the world's most popular travel destinations while cheering on the Jackets on a global stage. For travel packages, tickets, and more information, go to gt2ireland.com. Sting 'em.
Hey Atlanta, it's Ben, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show, proudly brought to you by Peach State Pride. Each and every weekend, we bring you all the issues going on around the globe and what America's ultimate role is in order to drive our agenda forward as conservatives. And if you ever miss an episode, you can download everything I've ever done on Apple, Spotify, or you can go to the podcast park. See you around, Atlanta.
Neil Borch here. Maybe you've already taken the steps to improve your health, maybe save your life. You're using a CPAP for your sleep apnea. I've been using one for well over 20 years. So right now, I'm here to tell you about a source for CPAPs and CPAP supplies here in the Atlanta area. CPAPs, etc. They're in Alpharetta. They have whatever you need. Roddy and Sharon are your CPAP experts, and they'll ship nationwide. More information, cpapsetc.com.
Hey there, it's Tara, owner and publisher of Our Town Monthly, where you'll find familiar faces, local voices, and community businesses like JRM Management.
Thanks, Tara. I'm Missy Miller, event coordinator at JRM Management. We are your event specialist. We're excited to see you at the Georgia Food and Wine Festival, March 21st through the 24th. We'll have food, beverages, cooking demos, live music, shopping, and more. Or maybe you're looking for an event where you can bring the entire family. Join us at the Marietta Community Egg Hunt Friday, March 29th, and the Northeast Cobb Community Egg Drop Saturday, March 30th. There will be multiple egg hunts by age and lots of kid-friendly activities. Also, look out for the Kennesaw Big Shanty Festival, the Smyrna Spring Jonquil Festival, and of course, the North Georgia State Fair. There's always something fun happening in our community, and we want you to know about it. That's why we love our partnership with Our Town Monthly.
You are so right, Missy. If JRM is there, the fun follows. Friends, check out all the exciting community events hosted by JRM Management. And remember, Our Town is your town at Our Town Monthly.
Tug Coward, Scott Rhino, and Carlos Medina get your day started with Atlanta's only live and local conservative talk on the Morning Extra.
I was just thinking about this and ran across it because we had the big lottery winner. Where'd you say it was? In New Jersey? Dude won like $1 billion or something like that?
Oh, I don't know where they were.
I think it was New Jersey. I think it flashed up.
I know two from Georgia won $1 million.
Yeah, it was like some dude won like $1 billion in New Jersey. Is that right, Los?
1.13 billion.
Wow. Unreal, man. Just I mean, I'm never going to win because I never play, but I don't believe, that many people. Well, there's a couple things at play here. Most people aren't going to win. I mean, the odds are stacked against you, obviously. But the ones who do, everything always falls apart in their life. It just happens over and over and over again. We knew a family up in Dalton. They won, and it wasn't like a major. It was $1 million or something. You know what I mean? When it comes to, I know it's a lot of money, but when it comes to these $1 billion.
Right, you could win $50 million.
Yeah, exactly, or $1 billion, like this guy. And this family won $1 million. And they ended up divorced. The kids were all, I mean, it was bad news, everything that happened to this family. And from then on, because I was always like, come on, who's going to screw things up when you get win $1 million? Sure enough.
So, because I'm in NFL draft mode, there was always something we said back when I worked in the whole combine business in the late aughts, that you had teams that recognized they wanted to know who you were character-wise. Because they all believe that whenever you get money, it's just going to accentuate whatever you are.
Yeah, the problems.
If you're a charitable person, you're going to be more charitable. If you're a nice person, you're probably going to be nicer. If you're frivolous,
problematic,
you'll be more frivolous. Yeah. And so that family you're talking about probably already had some stuff going on. Sure. The money just accentuated and made it happen faster.
All right. So knowing all that, would you rather?
Oh, here we go. Hold on. Hypothetical. It's a choose your own adventure. I'm ready.
Right. Have a 100% chance of winning $1 million or a 75% chance at winning $100 billion.
Oh, man. Give me the $1 million.
I say take the $1 million,
I'm taking it, man.
Joe's looking at us like we got four heads.
75% for $100 billion?
Or the guarantee of $1 million.
No, I'll take the bet.
Okay.
My life's good.
Can I sell my odds of 75% to somebody else?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
I'm taking the
$1 million. I'm taking $1 million.
I can make that into something.
I think so too, Rhino. Thank you, because it's a guarantee. That's still a freaking $1 million. Los is the gambler. That's why
if I take that, yes, both girls are in college and both girls' weddings, whatever extravagance they want to pay for with money set aside. But your alternative with a 75% chance is generational wealth.
Yeah.
As in, like, my grandchildren.
Right, which is correct. But you got a 25% chance of got nothing.
Yeah, but the way you make money in this world is by taking chances.
That's right. A fair point.
It's really,
a fair point.
Scared money don't make any money.
That's why I don't make no money, because I'm scared to death of losing. I ain't got enough to lose.
I'm too Jewish to give up $1 million, man. I'm not lying. Like, that would be too hard. Like, I want the 75. Absolutely. I want to take that, but, like, just heritage in me just says, be Jewish. Take the $1 million. You're smart enough to turn this $1 million into $5.
I would take the $1 million too.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. So it's funny that we're
Plus,
divided
I don't care about
50-50.
I don't care about Liam's kids.
Yes, you
that's
do.
his problem.
Whatever you're doing.
That's his problem.
But even, like, and I'll just give you an example. We took a couple of bonuses and a little bit of money we had off the sale of a home and rolled that into a small community in Florida that we believed in, and then it turned into what it turned into. Honestly, it wasn't the greatest bet in the world, but it was a bet. Yeah. And it was a chance. And so that's where that mentality of, can you spot, I would just say this, can you spot moments in the marketplace where you go, I can see some sort of potential there? And the potential you're giving me is a 75% chance, and I'll take the chance.
Absolutely. I love it. I'm with Rhino, though.
Yeah.
I'm with Rhino. I would take the guaranteed money. I would take the guaranteed bet. I wouldn't be able to, because can you imagine? Here's the thing.
I'd have bought True Social stock right there and turned it into a fortune.
Because if the 25% rolls around,
man,
dude, I would be banging my head against the wall. I would be like, why are you such an idiot? Why didn't you take the guaranteed? I'd never be able to live with myself.
And if you lived with my kind of luck, you'd know that was
exactly
that 25% turns into 100% loss. Easy for you.
Same, Rhino.
But I'll just point this out, because none of us are living some sort of extravagant life. I mean, Rhino just got called a hobo?
Yeah.
A hobo wearing overalls. Hobo wearing overalls. I wear sweats almost every day, okay? Like, there's nothing extravagant about what any of us do. That $1 million is going to change your life for about 6 months, in my opinion. Because of just, $1 million doesn't go as far as it used to.
No, it doesn't, but, I mean, $1 million.
$1 million is going to be good. You know what's going to happen? You're going to finish off college with your son, and that's not a small thing.
No, it is that.
And then you're going to sell your house. You're going to buy the next house, and you're going to eat some money. And before you know it, you're going to be looking at it and going, "How did that turn into $100,000? And my life really hasn't altered."
Yeah, I don't.
That's where you're going to get. That's where you're going to go back and say, "I want that 75% chance."
I don't think I could, man. It's impossible to know without living it and knowing it and it actually happening. I'm so close to Rhino on this one. I just can't. I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I didn't end up with anything with those two choices. Board up, Joe.
The difference is so big. It's like $1 million. I'm moving out of my parents' house. Sweet, cool, awesome, love it. $100 billion. I'm hanging out on my yacht with Sydney Sweeney.
Right, and he is, and you will.
You know what? Except for the 25% that we know is coming our way.
And he is also not getting Sydney Sweeney. I don't care if he has $100 billion.
No, yeah, you are.
You are.
And you know what?
Not with that mustache.
It doesn't matter. Money clears up. Have you seen Jeff Bezos?
He'd be taking Sydney shopping.
Yeah, exactly. He'd take her shopping.
That's fair.
But
buy her new ones.
And this isn't, you didn't say 50-50. You didn't say 25% chance. I'm playing the odds. 3 out of 4. I'm going to win this thing here.
That's baseball decisions, right?
That's good odds.
Isn't that baseball strategy though? Like you're going with the best odds to get something accomplished.
I mean, it's poker strategy. There's nothing that you will ever walk into a casino and get a 75% chance, and that's what you're offering me at that kind of money. I'm taking the chance.
You're going all in on that. I get hit. Like I want to be that guy.
Me too.
I want to be that guy because the odds of me winning are so great at that point, and if I can find the other people, I'm taking them out. But I love the. I mean, that's man.
So it's funny that we ended up 50-50 in this room because the people that were asked just this hypothetical went 48-52. 48 would go with guaranteed money. 52 going with the 75% odds.
That's about right.
It's a 50-50 thing. It's just funny that it.
I mean, because you don't have it now. So like if I didn't win the $100 billion, then I'm back to where I am now. So and I'm okay now. But my mind says take the mill.
Me too. But man.
Then I'm buying one dumb person out.
Just
living
dreaming,
a great life.
Just dreaming
taking Sydney Sweeney shopping with $1 million.
No, you're not. No,
I don't need no fake girl like that.
Now, whatever, so many billions?
Yeah.
Anybody want to take shopping?
Yeah, sorry.
Anyone.
You should go through the
50
battery.
Cent?
Yeah, probably.
50 Cent.
He'd be like, that's cool. I'll go shopping with you.
100 million.
Hold on.
Yeah.
If P. Diddy can't get you to go shopping,
no, you're right. I don't
little
know. Little
short
worth
hobo in overalls with $100 billion ain't bringing you shopping either.
You could also have the nicest hobo overalls they make.
Oh my God, I'd have diamonds. There wouldn't be
just little diamonds on the straps.
No, I would actually have the thread made of diamonds. So
or golden thread.
Oh, gold thread.
That's the way to do it, right?
Man,
because it's already gold color anyway, especially Liberty overalls.
See, you're not dreaming like this at $1 million.
No, you're right. Right, but you
because at that point but that point it's frivolous.
I know. Well, yes, you're right.
Like your Dalton country folk, they got frivolous with it.
They did. That's the truth.
But there is a reason why.
Sad story.
And I wonder if that 1.1 billion is this. There's an overwhelming amount of people that when they do win the lottery, similar to professional athletes, they are broke within 3 to 5 years.
That's what I'm saying. And this is what happened to the family that we knew. I mean, I remember the day that they told me they won the lottery. I was like, get out of here.
Get out of here.
There's no way.
You're going to blow all that.
Nobody wins the lottery, really?
Yeah.
And sure enough, and then within 3 years, it was disaster, divorce. It was awful.
2001 was the last time this was taken. It was 70% of lottery winners end up being bankrupt.
And that's the way this family was.
Because they don't need it. They don't deserve it. They didn't earn it, so they don't even understand the value of it anymore. That's the truth.
But don't you feel like, though, you would do it differently? I mean,
of course
I would do that completely
differently. That's why we'll never win.
That's right. Well, yes, because they don't play.
Right.
And then, but on top of that, is like, I feel like if I won that money, I would be just fine. And I bet those people, all 75% of them that are broke within 3 years, all said the same thing. I would do it differently. No way I would pay for everything or buy diamond encrusted overalls or whatever it is,
Yeah.
And yet
you're buying jet skis, cars for everyone. You bought a house for $250,000, $300,000. Your million's gone.
It's
quick.
Gone. It'll get gone.
2019 USA Today says in recent years that it's a third that are within Just about 24 months.
Good Lord. 24 months.
Of just the money's gone.
Good Lord. Less than 2 years.
Blows there. Again, if
Because they quit their job that day.
But if you're playing the lottery, and this isn't everybody, but if you're playing the lottery, you realize you are kind of paying a dumb tax. It's fun. I like it. I like when I do it.
Yeah.
But if you are, typically it's because you want that money, you need that money, and you tend then to not be able to manage that money.
Yeah. Because you've never had to before.
You never had to.
I mean, your checkbook is your checkbook, and you know what it is, but you're just not able to manage that type of money. Morning Extra and Extra 106.3, 9 o'clock hour. Brought to you by Southern Exteriors, your home exterior solution. Here in Atlanta for over 20 years. They're based in Jackson, Georgia. They can do everything you need done to make your house your castle. Windows, roof, gutters, painting, decks, they can do it all. And they have an in-house warranty division to take care of it all, so you don't have to worry about anybody being a fly-by-night and leaving you holding the bag. SouthernExteriors.co, SouthernExteriors.co. So the Biden administration has been sending illegals in private aircraft, in commercial aircraft. They're housing them at Atlanta, Hartsfield, Jackson International Airport. We all saw that. And you think of this, y'all, and you think New York. You think L.A., San Francisco, Chicago. And all of that is true. Those are the places that it's showing up on the news. But what happens when it ends up being your hometown? And you're like, well, it's never going to do that. We'd never allow that in the city that I live. Well, that's what they thought just outside of Nashville as well.
The city of Franklin received this letter from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. In short, it says that hundreds of people going through the immigration process could end up in Middle Tennessee cities. Last fall, DHS sent this official notice saying nearly 600, quote, non-citizens were looking to travel to these areas highlighted on your screen. Most of them coming from Guatemala, Venezuela, Honduras, and Mexico.
And if you can think that it would happen in Franklin, Tennessee, right outside of Nashville.
Beautiful little town, too.
Just gorgeous. It's beautiful up there. It's not like they had a choice.
Right.
The federal government said, hey, we're sending people from Venezuela, from Cuba, from wherever to your community. We don't care what you think about it.
Hey, they just got out of jail. They'll be fine. They learned their lesson. Don't worry about it.
All
it's fine.
good. It's all good. So if it can happen there, imagine what could happen in a little town that you live in, not in the city of Atlanta, maybe outside 285. Maybe it's up in the northeast Georgia mountains. Maybe it's down in southwest Georgia. You've got two willing senators sitting there going, whatever the Biden administration wants to do, we're going to support them. It does not matter what happens to you. It does not matter what happens in Athens, Georgia. It has nothing to do with you. We're going to force it down your throat.
It's just interesting that when we talk about how you have to crush American cities, and that's already started to happen, and their answer to relieve this is, well, let's find other nice little American places, preferably in red areas, and let's send these people over here. This is all by design. This isn't by accident. This isn't mistaken.
No.
This is an overall strategy to overwhelm and to strengthen the Democrat power for the next 50 years.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It's that simple. That's
It is
exactly
that simple. And you know they're risking your lives, their constituents' lives for their
Doesn't
power.
even matter. They don't care about
Doesn't
that.
matter. Like I said yesterday, Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff should be taken out by votes because they don't care about you. They don't care about your constituents. They're not listening to the overwhelming poll numbers that say that Americans want this border secure. They did everything they could. And even our own House, and luckily we have really good representatives in our House. Some of them I'm very disappointed in, but a lot of them I really approve of because they're the ones fighting to say, hey, we don't want this in our state. But look how H.R. 2 and Mike Johnson just allowed the Democrats, even though we control the purse strings on these kind of issues, they took it away from us and now we can't secure the border.
This is a simple way of putting it to the statists. And again, they live in a world where they have their own make-a-believe, okay? It's their own Marvel universe, and they're at the center of it.
They're
okay?
in multiverse, too.
Exactly, and you can only talk to them so much before you recognize the brain just goes off into somewhere, but you've got to try and make it make sense from this standpoint. This is really about the elites in this country, the people who really run this country, increasing their own wealth by driving down the prices of what they need, okay? Labor or anything else, it drives it down by having all these people in the country. For everyone that walks across that border and enters in your community, you are now more poor. For every 1,000, you're more poor. For every 1,000,000, you're more poor while they get richer.
Yep.
That's the simple math of it all. And yet, I will have the statists look at me and be like, what do you have a problem with people coming to this country for? I'm like, it's making you and I more poor. No, it's not. You don't get the game.
Right.
You clearly
You're voting to be poor. You're never going to, it's very important to understand what equity is. Equity doesn't mean you're going to make more money and a ton of more money and you're going to be a millionaire and be able to buy the things you want. You're not going to be able to get the jet ski. You're not going to be able to get the lake house. What equity means is we're going to take everybody else down and take opportunity away so that everybody feels equal, even though you're not anymore, because there'll always be the elite that control everything. You continue to vote for your own poorness. You continue to vote for union leaders that'll walk away with $125,000 of bonuses while you now have to go home and say you lost your job at UPS because you're the fall guy. So good luck to you. Keep voting that way. Keep voting for crooks like Ossoff and Warnock. Good luck to you.
Think about this. We went through a span of about a week and a half, 2 weeks, where the news came out about what Tyson Chicken was doing with their workforce. And people on the right, conservatives, like, that's not right. You're going to terminate this workforce. You're going to then find a new immigrant workforce that's going to cost less money. Again, the elites are going to make their money on that. You get more poor.
Nothing changes for them.
You had the better part of a week of people telling you, including Reuters and other ones, fact-checking it. That's not true. That's not happening.
And
this is false. And then you have this article from Salon.com. Republicans would rather boycott Tyson Foods and acknowledge how essential immigrant workers are.
Propping it up.
Propping it up because they think they're going to be part of the system. They think they're going to be part of the ruling class. They're not.
Not a chance.
None of y'all are. Okay?
This is how.
The elites are getting richer. We will all get poorer, and it's going to be on the backs and with the help of the thousands and millions of people that are coming in here illegally.
This is Extra 106.3 in the Morning Extra. Is predictive programming real? The bridge crash in Baltimore may give us at least part of the answer. Next on the Morning Extra, Tug, Rhino, and Los. We're on the air until 10.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Pete, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
Democrats don't like secret ballots for unions because then they don't know how everybody voted. They can't say, hey, you want to sign this card? You want a union, don't you? You know that we know where you live. We know where your children go to school. We're sure you want to get along with your fellow workers here at the plant. You don't want to cause trouble, do you? So go ahead and sign this card that says you want to join a union. There's a word for that. Intimidation.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
The Braves are back for the 2024 season and ready to fight for their 7th consecutive division title. Don't miss the opening homestand against the Arizona Diamondbacks April 5th through the 7th, followed by the New York Mets April 8th through the 11th. And on April 8th, the Braves will honor the 50th anniversary of Hank Aaron's record-breaking 715th home run with a special Hank Aaron bobblehead giveaway together with Truist. Visit Braves.com/promos to get your tickets today. Atlanta Braves Baseball. We are Braves Country.
Buying a new car is about way more than just a car. You want to love it and everything that comes with it. And at Subaru of Gwinnett, we get that. You want to love the website. Easy to browse, easy to shop, and an unrivaled selection so you can find the model that suits you. Like the 2024 Subaru Outback, Crosstrek, or Ascent. All offering impressive gas mileage, standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, and the tools to explore the things you love. You want to love the people. And know that every time you stop by the dealership on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth, they'll be there for you, ready to help in any way possible. And you want to love the service. We'll check that box for you also, because during the spring sales event, there's a lot to love. So stop in during the Subaru A Lot to Love event, and you'll find just that, a lot to love. Start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com and find the ride that best suits you, because love is what makes a Subaru a Subaru. Subaru of Gwinnett, Satellite Boulevard in Duluth, and online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but at A Second Chance Bail Bonds, we believe everyone deserves a second chance. That's the driving force behind everything we do. If you or a loved one has been arrested across town or across the country, you need help now. A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast with bondsmen throughout Atlanta to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT. That's 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
It's a mad world out there, but one thing is certain, everyone is trying to market something. So tune in every Saturday at 3 p.m. to the Marketing Madmen, who, along with a variety of industry expert guests, can help you make sense of it all. Whether you own a business and want tips to scale, or are a fan of the finer things in life and want to know how restaurants, golf courses, and wine companies try to sell you stuff, the Marketing Madmen is your ultimate destination for all things marketing. Tune in right here on Extra 106.3 every Saturday at 3 p.m. or search online for more content. Join the madness with the Marketing Madmen.
Is this the year you want to grow your business? Do you want to expand your team? Build a new office? Hey, it's Tug, and I want to tell you about First Liberty Building and Loan. Aren't you exhausted by going to lenders, building a relationship, and a week later, you're dealing with a new person? You won't have to with First Liberty Building and Loan. The Frost family has been helping businesses grow since the 90s, and they can help you too. They know the patterns, they know the ebbs and flows, and they know business. Now the Frost family wants to know you. FirstLibertyGA.com. Buying a building, building a building, buying a franchise, or expanding. Reach out and spend 10 minutes with them. See if you're a fit for them and if they're a fit for you. FirstLibertyGA.com. By the way, if you're a young banker and you want to work with a team that's faith-friendly with a culture of excellence, First Liberty might be a good match. Reach out to First Liberty Building and Loan at FirstLibertyGA.com. That's FirstLibertyGA.com.
Love having a true conservative news and talk station in Atlanta? Then spread the word. Tell your family and friends to download the Extra 106.3 app and stream the Morning Extra, The Kimmer Show, and Atlanta's biggest lineup of conservative voices.
Tug, Rhino, and Los until 10. Yesterday we talked about the bridge collapse in Baltimore a little more. And I think all of us are in that place where we're just not sure. There's that part of you that believes, you know what, they just lost power. It is what it is. You know, a disaster happens. And look, those things happen. And that's where I am right now. I'm very open, though, to the possibility that there's something else. And Los, you said that yesterday, too.
I said I'm willing to listen to anyone who will make a valid argument, including Laura Logan, who talked about her contacts within the intelligence field were saying there's something really crazy going on here and we need to pay attention to it. And it also did not help that when you have the Rear Admiral Buttigieg who decided to tell us, well, we're just going to pay for it all. It's like, why are y'all not investigating? Yeah. Well, the people that are responsible will pay. Like, why not an investigation of this whole thing that happened in Baltimore?
They sure went after Norfolk Southern as soon as East Palestine happened. Right. I mean, right after them, you're going to pay for this, you're going to do this. Why is there such a hesitation to saying, hey, we're going to find the companies, or we're going to, make sure that the companies pay for all the damages done, and they will for a long time. Of course, they want the American taxpayer to do it. That's why there's so many questions being asked. It was the first thing they said.
There was a man I ran across on social media who brings up a lot of these same questions, the same ones we have. And he brings up predictive programming.
Have you seen the Obama movie, Leave the World Behind? Many have called it predictive programming. Well, the action of the movie starts when a giant container ship loses power and crashes. Interesting enough, a giant container ship lost power and crashed into a bridge in Baltimore. In the movie, we find out that it was a cyber attack. Today, we are being told that the Baltimore bridge crash is just an accident, but there is clear video of the ship losing power twice, taking a sharp turn, and running straight into the bridge support structure. All remaining ships are rerouted to other ports, and our U.S. trade lines and logistics are disrupted. If I were a conspiracy theorist, I would say it looks like a cyber attack. Joe Biden just announced in his press conference that the federal government will pay for the rebuilding of the bridge. The people of Baltimore need us right now. Less than 12 hours after the bridge goes down, Biden is committing 100% to the rebuilding of said bridge and necessary infrastructure. Where was his diligence and vigor when Texas burned, when Lahaina burned? Bridges collapsing, trains derailing, U2 and Meta go down on Super Tuesday, AT&T suffers nationwide blackouts, casinos get hacked, fighter jets go missing, GOP House members just start randomly quitting. Something bigger is happening. What are they trying to hide?
And all of your questions, the questions that we all have, other people have too. I find it fascinating how now social media gives people the ability. They don't have to listen to ABC, CBS, NBC and take their word for it, because none of us believe their word. And we'll talk about that a little later in the show. Is just the collapse of trust in media. But this man brings so many points together. He actually went into the P. Diddy stuff too, and he was like, why all of a sudden? What is it? And I found his whole statement very fascinating.
This is what media has done to us, hasn't it? Because we can't trust anything they say. They're lying to us directly in front of our face when we know the facts and we have the facts, and they continue to go down that path. So everything needs to be questioned at this point. So anything that may be innocent is going to be second guessed. This entire ship thing is one of those things that is going to happen. I still have many questions on why, how. I want to learn more. I don't know enough about it. So, yeah, I'm going to investigate it. Why did the ship turn in that direction if the power went out? Why did it turn at that degree? Like, I need to know. Why did it direct right towards there? Why was somebody else who is supposed to be a safety expert on getting you out of that port in control and not know? These are all the questions that people are going to ask. And you know what? I mean, I thought the same thing about the power outages. What kind of attack was this?
I'm always able to go back to Rahm Emanuel and blame him over what happened during the Obama administration. And he had the quote, "Never let a serious crisis go to waste."
Amen to that.
All right.
And they don't.
But it makes you wonder, and you should, over the last 4 years, you should ask every single time your government says, sit down, shut up, nothing to see here. I'm like, oh, really? Okay, well, let's look into this a little bit. And for every single one of these situations, there's always something underlying that's just dirty, that's foul, that's nasty. Like, I do think about how we had the whole story about the amount of debit cards that are going out in the state of New York. Do you realize the people in Hawaii got a one-time payment for $700?
$700, yeah, I do. Yeah.
That was their one thing. I was like,
and he addresses the guy that we just heard from. He talks about that too, the burning of Lahaina.
And you wonder why people don't trust their government. It's a failure and a falling down of institutions.
You know, it's funny in Paris right now, and I mean they're socialists. They're avowed socialists. All of Europe socialists, and all of a sudden, because the Olympics are coming to Paris, they're taking all of the homeless, all of the illegals, anybody that lives in squalor on the streets, and they're pushing them to smaller communities, smaller towns throughout France.
We did the same thing here.
We just had the story yesterday. That's exactly what they're doing right outside. Was it Murfreesboro, Tennessee? Right outside of Nashville.
Yeah, Franklin.
Do you not see the parallels?
But we did that here in Atlanta for the 96 Olympics.
No, of course.
We were like, let's round them up and we'll take them elsewhere.
But I think it's heavier now with all the people that are flooding into different continents, different countries, including America.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think everybody continues to do this because everybody's dealing with an immigration problem, whether they want to talk about it or not. They all want to seem better than each other. But we did it not only, like we just talked about, but also in El Paso when the president went down there to visit. They moved everybody out because they didn't want the cameras to see the kind of homelessness. They did it again in San Francisco when they wanted to clean it up for a communist leader. They put up their flags, cleaned everything up. They're continuing to do this, and they're shipping. I mean, is it any different than them going, hey, come across the border, okay, send them to New York, send them to Chicago, send them to Los Angeles, send them to Georgia, send them to Minnesota, wherever they're going to be continually sending them to live in our streets.
But I would ask the question, that begs the question, though. If all this illegal immigration is just fine and it's working out swimmingly, why would there be a need to do that in France? I mean, it's...
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's working, then people wouldn't be living in squalor. They wouldn't be living on the streets. They wouldn't be homeless.
Well, it's not.
Exactly right.
They're hiding it.
That's the whole point. It's exactly right. They're hiding it because they don't want cameras to see their failures.
I do enjoy the idea that when you do have certain programming that says, here's a future scenario. And you're like, what happened when the future scenario was from a movie from a year and a half ago and now it's happening?
Yeah.
How futuristic was it?
Yeah, exactly.
You know? It's look at all this squalor everywhere.
Yeah.
Every single movie that shows like some dystopia, like, man, we're like on a speedboat heading that direction.
Grease pole to hell is what it feels like.
And when you find out that Obama were the ones to produce it, part of the government, I mean, don't you question why or how it came to be that way? And yeah, that was a relevant thing. That ship ran out of power and ran ashore.
A lot of things these days that you have to question. Not to say that everything is a conspiracy. Because at this point, I have no reason to believe that it is, but I have no reason to believe it's not.
I feel like I'm batting like 900 in the last 4 years.
Right?
I'll be all right.
Yeah, you're going to be just fine.
I'm an all-star, Hall of Famer.
KJP hangs up on a radio station in Charlotte for asking a question that needed to be answered. She was not having any of this straightforward, basic question. We'll let you hear her. Next on Extra 106.3, Morning Extra until 10.
Hey, it's Flounder, and The Kimmer Show is live every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m.
Apparently, banks are not going to give Donald Trump the bond money to put up for his case in case he has to end up paying it while he appeals, which, by the way, is also ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous. There's no way that he should have been convicted and have to pay $500 million.
We should be sending a message to New York City. Don't do business with New York City.
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
This is Dan Watkins with All Four Seasons. We've always been Atlanta's best at installing and servicing garage and entry doors, but you would be surprised at how many windows we've installed as well. So we're proud to announce a new division, All Four Seasons Windows. We now have the ability to make sure every opening in your house is safe, energy efficient, and looks darn good. So give us a call today to schedule your free sales consultation. Find out how you can decrease your energy bills and increase the beauty and value of your home with All Four Seasons garage, entry doors, and windows.
At the Piedmont Bank, we're proud to be one of Georgia's largest community banks, focusing on serving businesses and the communities they serve. With headquarters right here in Metro Atlanta, our tailored banking expertise and solutions help meet the diverse needs of our customers so they have what it takes to grow, expand, and thrive. It's what elevates us above the rest. Find a location near you at Piedmont.bank and experience elevated banking for you and your business. The Piedmont Bank. Banking elevated. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
5 stars. All rise for To Kill a Mockingbird. Unmissable and unforgettable. A mockingbird for our moment. Beautiful, elegiac, satisfying, even exhilarating. A New York Times critic's pick. Mockingbird is now the most successful American play in Broadway history. All rise for Aaron Sorkin's great play. Richard Thomas is Atticus Finch in Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird.
Playing at the Fox Theater May 7th through the 12th. For tickets, visit BroadwayInAtlanta.com.
Hey there, it's Janelle King, host of The Janelle King Show, right here on Extra 106.3 FM, where we are unafraid and unapologetic. We explore the topics that matter the most. You can catch us on Saturdays at 4 p.m. and encore episode on Sundays at 9 a.m. And catch up on past episodes by going to the podcast park right here at Extra 106.3 or wherever you get your podcasts every single Tuesday. Until then, stay unafraid, stay unapologetic, and never stop seeking the truth.
Did you know one of the best investments you can make? It's in yourself. At My Computer Career, in just a few months, you can start your new career in the high-demand, recession-resistant field of information technology. Isn't it time you invest in you and start a career in networking, cybersecurity, AI, or upskill to boost your current IT career? So get the ROI you deserve at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Start now at mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill. This is WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. Locally owned and heard throughout Georgia on the Extra app.
are still 4 bodies in the water in Baltimore. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. They did find 2 of the construction workers killed when a cargo ship hit the bridge they were on, taking it down with them. They were found in a submerged truck. Here's Maryland Governor Wes Moore.
This work will take time, but we're going to make sure that we are going to leave no one behind.
Fox Business Network Cheryl Casoni reports.
Resolve Marine, that is a salvage firm that helped contain the Deepwater Horizon oil spill and help safely demolish part of the Tappan Zee Bridge here in New York, is heading to Baltimore as the long road to recovery begins. The plan, refloat and remove the ship that crashed into the Francis Scott Key Bridge, killing 6. The immediate concern, hazardous materials.
56 of the containers still on the deck of the ship full of hazardous cargo. Some has been breached, a sheen on the river's surface seen. 4 people are dead in Rockford, Illinois, where a man went on a stabbing spree.
Like most Rockfordians, just totally shaken by this act of violence.
Mayor Tony McNamara, several others were wounded. They have a 22-year-old suspect in custody. Former President Trump plans today to attend the wake of a murdered New York City police officer. Jonathan Diller was shot at a Queens traffic stop Monday. The accused gunman was hit and wounded and returned fire. President Biden will also be in New York.
Joining forces with Barack Obama and Bill Clinton at a fundraiser at Radio City Music Hall. If you want a photo with the 3 men, it will cost you $100,000. Tickets to the event range from $225 to a cool $500,000.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson. A new Fox News poll shows a 5-point Trump lead over President Biden. A Democrat who was almost vice president has died. Former Senator Joe Lieberman was Al Gore's running mate in 2000, then ran for president in 2004.
I will work my heart out to make sure that our values, democratic values, are restored to our government again. That will be my singular purpose.
Well, a few years later, Lieberman left the Democratic Party, was an independent in the Senate. He was 82 and died of complications from a fall. America's listening to Fox.
Pure Talk believes in American values, and that free should mean exactly that. Free. Switch to Pure Talk today and get a free Samsung 5G smartphone. Qualifying plans start at just $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, 15 gigs of data, and mobile hotspot. Just go to puretalk.com/puretalk and claim your eligibility for your free brand new Samsung 5G smartphone. Again, go to puretalk.com/puretalk to switch to Pure Talk today.
Hey, it's Jesse Kelly. Are you still on the fence about owning gold? It's time to pull the trigger with the Oxford Gold Group and buy gold and silver. Nobody can predict the future, but we can't put our head in the sand either. The Oxford Gold Group are the pros. They make owning gold and silver simple and easy to understand. Call Oxford Gold Group right now and you may qualify for up to $10,000 in free precious metals. Call 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD.
Look out, it's only me. It's only the Kimmer. You know, you can download the Kimmer podcast on the Extra 106.3 app, along with a ton of other great shows. Go get it, for crying out loud, now on Apple or Android.
Morning, y'all. Tug, Rhino, and Nos on the Morning Extra. Easter coming up this weekend. Look, I think my wife and I are going to go to sunrise service, and it's just, we've not done that. In several years, gone to actual sunrise service. I mean,
you should.
Yeah, no, I definitely.
Y'all need some churching. I've seen what y'all been up to. Yeah,
I'm telling you, bad folks. We need to. If you just saw me last night at when we were playing cornhole, and I was about 3 deep in the in the rum and coke.
Did you lose again?
No, we actually won. I didn't play, actually. I didn't play at all.
Why?
Yes, maybe. Very, very likely so.
Very laid back evening for me. We had practice, and then we had the ice cream social, and so I'm spending time at Baskin Robbins at 8 o'clock going, we need to get back home so we can, pour something here. No, not really.
Nothing doing, you never made it?
Yeah, I mean, we made it back to the house, but it was never
too late.
Before you knew it, it was like 10 o'clock. I was like,
Goes by quick. Rhino, what'd you do?
We celebrated my birthday a little early because we're going to we're going camping next week. So we just kind of sat out, a bunch of us, and hung out, had a few beers, chilled out, and I got a really cool birthday gift from Erin, which I'm really excited about. She bought me a paddle board for this.
Those are fun.
Awesome, dude.
It's a lot of fun.
So I was, taking videos of me doing little dances with my backpack battle board and just having a good old time. And
my backpack.
I'm so excited.
Board.
Yeah. The backpack's bigger than I am, so it looks like a little kid. Like I look like Dora. Like I should have a map on one side.
That's right.
Spent a lot of time watching Dora the Explorer.
Yes. Find the map. That's so good. And what was the little sidekick?
Oh, the little monkey that she had?
Yes.
Sniper
Boots.
Oh, Boots. Yeah, Boots.
Wait, Swiper, no swiping.
Oh, that's the fox.
Swiper, no swiping.
That was the fox's
Now,
bad
did
guy,
you guys, and I'll see if I can find it, but did you ever see the Saturday Night Live version?
I don't think so.
Where suddenly Dora is explaining like real life scenarios to you in cartoon form. See if I can find it. It was hilarious. It's one of those where I was like, thank you, SNL. That's pretty good.
That's right. Back when they actually did funny things.
Yes,
which
very
is
abrasive.
Few and far between.
By the way, don't you feel a little bit cheated? Because my dad had talked about, he's still in town. He's in town till Sunday. Mm-hmm. He wanted to go out and watch opening day today.
Yes.
And then we don't end up with an opening day. I'll watch some of the games in the evening. We do get the tournament back tonight.
Yeah,
so that's fun.
Yeah.
A little bit nice. But it was this was supposed to be like an American holiday today, and instead for us, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
So sad.
Stinks. Gosh, it stinks. That's because
weather in Philadelphia pushes the Braves
sucks.
back till tomorrow at 3.
Yeah, that's right. And
tomorrow I'll wear my jersey.
That's right. We've been talking about it for months.
I know.
We've been counting down the days, and on Monday we're like, Thursday, baseball's back, let's go. And then
let's pull the curtain back a little bit. So our sister station is the flagship of Atlanta Braves baseball, and that when we look at all of our numbers and those of you that join us during Braves baseball season, y'all enjoy when we talk about Braves. And so we normally start off the show by, kind of talking a little bit about what happened from last night. And that has always been very popular. And so I was looking forward to Friday morning getting up and us getting a chance to talk about opening day together. Instead, it's, all right, it's opening day part due.
Yeah, and we got to wait till Monday to even talk about it.
Yeah.
So
a little different.
It is, but whatever. It's fine.
Do we have the fine, Tug? I want what I want.
I mean,
I've had a tough Thursday morning.
Okay, well, yes, it is. See, maybe you don't realize this because you're exactly right. It's been rough. Not only did Los get stuck in traffic,
got caught up in traffic.
His lunch turned over in his backpack,
and so I was scooping noodles out of my bag for the first 15, 20 minutes of my day.
And then now baseball is not back. It's the rug has
hell.
This is the worst Thursday that I can remember.
I don't even feel like working.
Let's just go home.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like hunger strike.
Yeah,
we're gonna do what those students are doing.
Yes. And let me tell you, we'll get the same reaction.
I ain't eating until you guys bring baseball back.
Yeah, exactly. I want you to hear what Ben Ingram said because he was talking about some of the things the Braves have been doing, and he said. That they made adjustments in reaction to Philadelphia. And then he went on to talk about Chris Sale and what he expects out of Chris Sale this season.
Chris Sale is not like anybody else. So I don't think you really worry about running him out there after another lefty. I don't think it's a similar look with him and anybody, whether they're lefties or righties. I think he's that funky. I think he's that unique, and he gets the swing and miss stuff. It's a guy who's had a 300 strikeout season, strikeouts for 9, best all-time in Major League Baseball. His numbers are through the roof, and he gives you so much swing and miss stuff to a stat that's already swing and miss. Not only do I expect the Braves to lead the National League in strikeouts as a unit, I think they dominate. I think there's a giant gap between first and second with the swing and miss stuff that this rotation has.
Dude, if that's the case, where pitching is that dominant, holy cow, this is going to be a fun season.
Oh, man, I'm so excited. And then just seeing what Chris has done so far, I'm really excited. Let me say this, though. If Ben Ingram were to say in my ear, let's go shopping. I'm in, bro. I'm in, man. Wow.
Dude, those
I love his
sultry tones.
God.
Mississippi born and bred.
And he is he don't sound anything. I mean, he don't look like he sounds. He's a good looking dude. I'm going shopping with that dude.
He sounds like a 60-year-old man who was like born and bred Southern. And then when you see Ben, you go, oh, that ain't a 60-year-old dude. Ben, there's 2 memes that have made their way all around our company. One of them is our friend Buck Ballou when he gets on the bicycle and he puts on his sunglasses. The other one, and it stays on my phone into perpetuity, it's Ben Ingram pointing at you while lifting his eyebrows of like what's up?
Yeah.
And I could just randomly send it to anybody, and people are like, is that Ben Ingram? All right. Like, yes, it is Ben Ingram.
God.
Just because Rhino's right. It's fun to listen to, and we want baseball, and it's not back today, and we got to wait till tomorrow. This is Ben talking about how the Braves have reacted to what the Phillies have been able to do in the last 2 years, which is put them out in the playoffs 2 years in a row.
When it came to the moves that were made this offseason, to me, it screamed one thing: a lineup that can beat the Phillies, a rotation and a bullpen that can beat the Phillies, and that means the left-handed bats of the Phillies. That's Schwarber, that's Harper, etc. If you get to the ninth inning and you got 1, 2, 3 coming up in the Phillies lineup, or 2, 3, 4, anywhere where Harper is in there. I don't know if you've ever seen Harper's numbers versus Iglesias.
It's video games.
I think it's 6 for 9 with 4 home runs career. So if you're thinking about other lefty options, I think that's the team that you use it on, whether that's Matzik, whether that's Mentor. He's got options there.
And that was obviously from our sister station, 680 The Fan, and the Chuck and Chernoff show, which you know so well.
Yeah, I built that thing.
Chernoff, boy, Chernoff jumping in there just kind of ruined my whole moment.
Right, of shopping.
Ginger-headed.
So it'll be nice tomorrow, and we have one more sleep. And then tomorrow we can all talk about how by the time we get off the air, 10 o'clock, we'll have essentially 5 hours, and then it's baseball time.
I love Stephanie, one of our good listeners every morning, said, hey, you know what? It is sad today, opening day, but tomorrow's Friday, so we get to party at 3:05.
It is
Everybody
a win.
leave work early. Let's
It's a
go.
win.
Yeah,
it is a win.
But here's where we discount this. I don't care if it's game 1 of 162 or game 2. I would have been partying anyway for game 2 of 162. I wanted game 1 today.
Right. I know. It is I think Rhino's just going glass half full.
I know, but
Stephanie is too.
You know what I would have done, Stephanie? I would have gotten up tomorrow and been like, it's a Max Fried day. Here we go.
Let's go.
Yeah. Instead, I got nothing today.
Oh,
I got noodles in my bag.
And stuck in traffic early in the morning. We're going to do our best to make this a good Thursday, even though we don't.
Philly ruined your entire day.
Yeah.
It's all Philadelphia's fault.
Devils.
Ugh.
Devils.
Just nasty, rainy
Filthy,
city.
Dirty city.
Disgusting.
They don't
Philly
even
people.
deserve Lee Greenwood.
No.
No, they don't.
Do they normally have Lee Greenwood?
Doesn't everybody?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Canada does
kind
now.
of the bit. I just saw his name was trending, and I was like, Philadelphia doesn't deserve Lee Greenwood.
Nor shall they have him.
See, I don't know. If there's a dollar bill attached to it, Lee Greenwood will be out there singing.
That's true.
Proud to be Canadian.
Man, what a sellout.
Dude, that was the worst.
That hurt my feelings.
It is heartbreaking to know that Lee Greenwood did that.
Because nobody's really proud to be Canadian.
And maybe they are, but it doesn't matter.
it.
Go have their own song. But that's the point. Go create your own song.
Yeah.
So I do have
beer, hockey, good.
beer, hockey, good. I like that.
It's actually pretty catchy.
So my father-in-law, who spent 35 years working for the U.S. government as a civilian contractor, he basically was a logistician for the U.S. Army. He is G.I. Jeff. When I played him, Proud to be Canadian, it broke that man's heart a little bit.
Dude,
it hurt him.
Absolutely.
Because he was like, these colors don't run, but they run to Canada to go sell the next album here.
The color green don't run.
Yeah.
Or maybe it does. It does. Actually, I guess I said it backwards. The color green does run.
Yeah.
Run right up to Canada, change the lyrics, sing it for you, get paid. And I guess as being a capitalist, I shouldn't be mad at him, but damn it, I am.
I mean, look, I get the point of trying to make it international, but can't you come up with a different song at least? Like if someone's going to, don't use the same lyrics. It's just.
But yeah, he did.
But look, if you could make $1 million and be like, proud to be Japanese, I'd go to every state, every country. I'd be like, yeah, I can do one for your town if you want.
Proud to be from Indiana.
That is why at some point Rhino's going to record the Christmas album version of the Morning Xtra.
That's right.
We need a Christmas album version. You got it. Those communists for Christmas, they're bad people.
Exactly right. Y'all, we had Ben Ingram calling in from into the Chuck and Chernoff show that we just played a little bit ago. I want to play you Corinne Jean-Pierre calling into a radio show up in Charlotte.
This works out well when she has to speak live.
Buddy, I'll tell you.
You know what? I'm not going shopping with her if she asks, though.
No. Well,
I will for Ben.
I gotta tell you, man, I think I might go shopping with her. I think she's stunning. I really do. I think she's beautiful.
She is beautiful.
And I think
she just ain't playing your game, dude.
No, I know. Yeah, she wouldn't be interested in me. No, and I understand that. And I'm fine with that. Whatever. But I'm just saying, I think she's lovely.
Y'all can go to Waffle House and be friends.
Yeah, there we go. I've
said this many times over many attractive women. I'm like, I think her and I could be friends. We could go to Waffle House together.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's exactly right. When she was asked the question, does Joe Biden have dementia? She flipped out and ultimately hangs up on the show.
Does the president have dementia? So before I move on from that, does he?
Mark, I can't even believe you're asking me this question. That is an incredibly offensive question to ask.
But you know people ask it.
Wait, let me. No. You, Mark, you're taking us down this rabbit hole. Let me be very clear about this.
Lie.
For the past several years, the president's physician has laid out in a comprehensive way the president's health. This is a president, if you watch him every day, if you really pay attention to his record and what he has done, you will see exactly how focused he's been on the American people, how historic his actions has been. And so I'm not even going to truly take the premise of your question. I think it is incredibly insulting. You have to remember when the president walked into this administration, there were multiple crises happening. There was
Just say he's
COVID.
healthy.
There was the economy was in the tailspin because of the last administration, because of what the President Trump left us with. And with that, thank you so much, Mark. Have an amazing day.
Wow.
Oh, she hung up.
Wow. You didn't even know the line was coming. No, yeah.
You ask a direct question like, does the president have dementia? And now she's on the record. Now here's that moment. And what does she do? Spin.
She spun so well because she talked about, the doctor says he's in perfect health. No, they didn't. The doctor didn't say that. The doctor didn't do a cognitive test. They haven't gone through the dementia, number one. Number two, look at all the things that he's got done. No, the bills were written by someone else. He may have signed them. He may have, done things. But let's look at the executive orders that he did do that are destroying this country. This was the biggest spin. And you know what? They don't like being challenged. You can hear it. So defensive right away, right?
So defensive immediately. But you're right. She spun and spun, but all it did was further nail in the feeling and everybody's assumption that he has dementia, that it's yes. Because otherwise, like Glow said while it was playing, just say no. But she can't.
She can't. And again, you just watch the man walk.
Yeah.
You just watch him walk. You watch him ponder things. You watch him when he zones off. And you know what it is. We've all seen family members who have the exact same thing. This is the only reason why this is such a ridiculous time that we live in is you think about the most stressful and most important job in the world, and it was given to a dementia patient.
It's true.
That's where we're at.
And she is
in the interest of power. The orange man was so hated, you're willing to give it to a man with dementia.
She is so offended that you'd even ask this question. This is the president of the United States, arguably the most important person in the world, right? I mean, when it comes to funding everything in the world, it's obviously this man at this point. So why would we not be able to question his cognitive ability? But do you see what happens when you question them? They shut down and they shut you out. You don't have the right to ask me this question. Yes, I do. We're paying you.
Dare you?
How dare you?
That's the way it felt.
Yes.
How dare you ask me this?
Insulting.
And it's no surprise that Mark Garrison, who was on that station up in Charlotte, 99.3 WBTE,
Mm-hmm.
he said he had so many people because he asked, just like we would, hey, what are your questions? What would you like us to ask Karine Jean-Pierre? And he said that was the overwhelming question that most people said. When you have her on, ask her, does he have dementia? Make her answer the question. And she couldn't. And she got pissed. And what does she do ultimately? Instead of just saying no, she rambles and then hangs up.
But this is why you end up having in this case, like when we ask a question, we're not really worried about the repercussions of it. That host was not worried about the repercussions of it. Do you know why they don't ask that with the White House press corps? You can't afford to lose your credential.
That's right.
So you have to play the game. Let's all pretend like he doesn't have dementia and let's ask questions accordingly. Radio host flat out is like, He had dementia or what?
Yeah. That's it.
I don't mean to laugh. It's just the way you said it.
They could activate.
It's not funny. Dementia's not funny.
They could activate Hillary to kill him, but outside of that, what's the big deal? What are they going to do? They're going to make some phone calls. They're going to take away his credential going to the White House.
Right. That's the fear, though. This is why they don't want to talk to anybody on the opposing side. Could you imagine if Donald Trump were to act like this when he was on with Kate and Collins on CNN? They will not. This is the reason why Raphael Warnock and his people refused to come on when I tried to get them on. This is why John Ossow's people refused to come on. This is why Stacey Abrams, when we asked her to come on, refused to come on. Even the Mayor Dinkins, asked him to come on, refused. Why? Because they don't want to face questions. They want like-minded media to cater to them, to give them the softballs, to give them the questions. She was so insulted that they would ask her something that would make them look bad in any way. And that's such a problem.
But the crazy part is, Rhino,
it's embarrassing.
They made themselves look bad by not answering the question and then being ticked and hanging up.
Well, the reality is, then you just told me with your reaction that he does have.
That's right.
That's it. That's all you've done.
She did answer the question.
Yeah, she did without answering it. That's exactly right. I want to show you something just because you said that about Hillary. Have you all seen this meme, the Francis Scott Key Bridge?
Please read it to the people.
I have information that could lead to the arrest and imprisonment of Hillary Clinton.
Well, you got to go.
Yeah.
It's the best meme.
It's in trouble. That bridge is in trouble.
You got to go.
It's so funny.
This is hysterical, man. I giggled at that.
I'm telling you, Diddy's not looking over his shoulder for me. He's looking where the Clintons are.
That's exactly right, because they're probably involved somehow. Would be my guess. All right, when we come back on Extra 106.3, more criminals being arrested for breaking the law. Novel idea. This is all happening down at the Atlanta Training Center. We'll discuss it next on Extra 106.3. We'll also knock out the headlines, too. Tug, Rhino, and Los, we're on the air until 10.
You want to be ahead of it? You want to be at the water cooler? You want to have the information first? Well, tune in because Tug, Rhino, Carlos, we're going to have it for you.
Only place you'll get it, and the place you'll get it first.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Underdog Fantasy. It's Los for Underdog Fantasy. I'll say it one more time. Underdog Fantasy. It is the most fun way that you can take part in the Pick'em exercise. Underdog Fantasy is your fan favorite way to play fantasy sports, and you can win real money. It's very simple. You just enter into a Pick'em game, pick between 2 and 5 players, and all you have to do is select higher or lower when it comes to their stat projection. You can do it for tonight's tournament games as well. That is my plan. Listen, the NBA didn't work out well last night. It's all right. I got another night with Underdog Fantasy. I will be all over the double headers of games that are going to be played. It adds to what I'm doing as far as my enjoyment, and I can win up to 100 times of my money in a single night. Completely legal in the state of Georgia. You can play along while you watch the games. Here is what you do. You can go to UnderdogFantasy.com, or you can download the app, Underdog Fantasy. Promo code LOS, L-O-S. That is L-O-S. And they will match up to your first $100 you put in your account. You want to put $10 in your account? They'll give you another 10. You want to put 20? They'll put 20. Simple. So on. They'll also give you a mystery special pick as well. Again, promo code LOS. You must be 18 years or older, present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Play Underdog Fantasy tonight.
Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watch Company, where quality and value make the difference. Locally owned and located in Sandy Springs, offering you the finest selection of unique diamonds, sapphires, rubies, and emerald jewelry, as well as other fine gemstones. Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches has been servicing Rolex watches for over 30 years, and their Rolex-trained watchmaker will service your watch in their state-of-the-art Rolex service center in their store. Lee Brandt uses only genuine Rolex parts, and their estimates are free. Drop by Lee Brandt in the Trader Joe's Shopping Center in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com.
Hear that? That's the sound of the annual Duck Pluck event, supporting Special Olympics Georgia athletes, and we need your help. Adopt a cute rubber duck today for just $7, and all proceeds will help provide everything from meals to housing for our Georgia athletes at the state games. Adopt your duck today at duckrace.com/Atlanta.
Introducing Sonder Health Plans, your trusted local partner for Medicare Advantage in Georgia. Only in Georgia. With Sonder, you'll get comprehensive coverage that's tailored to your needs. They offer $0 primary care visits, $0 premiums, plans and access to a wide network of Georgia healthcare providers. Visit SonderHealthPlans.com now to learn more about their valued-based care that won't break the bank. Or call 888-428-4440. Sonder Health Plans, your doctors, your neighbors, your friends.
Hey Atlanta, it's Ben, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show, proudly brought to you by Peach State Pride. Each and every weekend, we bring you all the issues going on around the globe and what America's ultimate role is in order to drive our agenda forward as conservatives. And if you ever miss an episode, you can download everything I've ever done on Apple, Spotify, or you can go to the podcast park. See you around, Atlanta.
Military Matters.
For the second time this month, Chinese warships encircled a Philippine supply boat in the South China Sea. The outgoing head of the U.S. military in the Pacific, Admiral John Aquilino, warned Congress China's military is getting more aggressive.
They are continuing to develop their military machine. Their actions are becoming much more belligerent.
Now the Navy's top leaders have presented Congress with a $2.2 billion wish list, 13 items they say are needed due to Congress's repeated delays, continuing resolutions to defense funding bills since October, and to the House Republicans blocking the supplemental bill to fund Ukraine, Taiwan, and Israel's defense needs. The wish list includes $92.9 million to buy more missiles for the Navy's depleted Fifth Fleet and $403 million for the U.S. submarine industrial base, something Republican lawmakers put into the stalled Ukraine funding bill. For Military Matters at the Pentagon, Jennifer Griffin, Fox News.
No need for traffic updates. We always steer you right. It's the Morning Extra on 106.3.
A lot of people believe in Sasquatch. I'm not one of them. A lot of people believe in aliens. That one, I still think the jury's out.
They exist. It's biblical, dude.
Well, I know you've been telling me this, and you've been telling me.
I went down that rabbit hole.
I know. I'm
At a certain point, you'll just come around to it.
Maybe so. What Sasquatch though?
Sasquatch is a little bit iffy.
What are you talking about? Look at my new sticker.
Oh, yeah. Rhino got a brand new sticker from North Carolina when he was up there.
Yeah, they have them there, too. But Sasquatches.
I mean, that
one's got a headband on and some sunglasses.
Yes.
But it looks like,
it's a cool
like a gorilla.
It kind of does.
It does kind of look like a gorilla. They kind of messed that sticker up, but I still love it. There's a movie coming out, too, called Sasquatch Sunset that I want to see, and it's got Jesse Eisenberg. And
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Jesse Eisenberg? He played Mark Zuckerberg in that Facebook movie.
I never saw that.
Social Network.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the movie, but I never
Did you ever see?
Of course, he didn't see that he played Lex Luthor.
There's no way. Yeah, I was about to say. I was like, hold on a second. There's no way he's seen this.
No.
There's just,
I'll look him up. I'm sure I'll recognize him if I see what was in
Now, I will say
Jesse Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg. So I looked at the preview of Sasquatch Sunset, thinking, because it's like about a family.
Oh, I recognize this
There's
guy.
a little
Okay.
bit of comedy. It looks very funny.
What do you mean a little bit of comedy?
I can't tell because
it's called Sasquatch
they don't have words.
Sunset.
Might be a documentary about a Sasquatch.
It's not a chance.
It is. It's the first time that anybody's followed a Sasquatch family through. Don't you laugh. Don't you dare laugh.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't mean to.
You laugh at the Sasquatch people? What are
I'm
you?
laughing at your enthusiasm because you're so excited about it. That's what's entertaining.
You're
to me.
Sasquatch-phobic.
No, I'm
yes, you
not.
are.
I'm not
yes,
a
you are.
Sasquatch-phobic.
And xenophobic.
Oh, I'm not.
I don't know. I'll throw that in, too.
You're a sassy squatch phobic.
Yep. Sassy
Y'all would like this man that is apparently going to go hunting up in Colville, Washington, up in Washington State.
Oh, be careful there.
They recorded this phone call, and I don't actually have the call, but I have the content of the call. So a hunter called the police department there in Colville, Washington, and asked if it's okay to hunt Sasquatch while he's there. He's going hunting anyway, and he just wanted to make sure that it was legal to hunt Sasquatch while he was hunting. So he reaches out to the Fish and Wildlife Office, and they're like, yeah, have at it, man.
See?
Just do whatever you need to do.
Oh, that's so wrong. We don't know. I mean, Sasquatch are as close to human. That's basically saying you can murder a human. I don't agree with this. If you can't have a stamp for your hunting license, I don't think you should be able to hunt Sasquatch. I mean, they are an endangered species. They're very hard to find and very hard to see. I don't think that's right at all.
The police chief kind of passed along 2 pieces of information. He's like, where you're going to be hunting kind of straddles the county. You'll have to call the other sheriff. We're saying, yeah, it's fine.
No, that was the sheriff going, you know what? Dude, listen, I'm going to have this guy call you. You won't believe his question.
Yeah. And then the second thing he told him, he's like, oh, man, I'm pretty sure there aren't any around. I feel like one of my deputies would have hit one of them by now.
He didn't say positive.
No, he
said
didn't.
pretty
he
sure.
Said pretty sure. That's exactly right. So
they're very good at hiding. You can't see them.
Clearly very good at hiding. I mean, really, really good at hiding.
I mean, I have the train video from
a
few months ago.
There it is. See, but that
just blends right into the countryside.
I know. It's like deer, when they lay in down the holler and back of my yard.
Yes.
Sometimes I have a hard time seeing them.
Exactly.
Because they blend in so well with trees and leaves and all that.
Top 15 most convincing Bigfoot sightings caught on tape.
There you go.
Oh, see, I didn't mean to start. I was serious.
This is a rabbit hole. I've gone down it.
Yeah, you've already
we
done
might
this.
not get Los back. This may spiral for the rest of the show. I don't know.
Oh, that's a good one.
I don't. Los is watching the top 15 most convincing Bigfoot sightings.
Come on.
Caught on tape. Look at there.
Is that a baby?
So what you're not seeing because you're listening on the radio is some footage which looks like.
Come on, dude. That's so. Look at that.
That's a furry creature.
Yeah. What did you think it was?
With a baby.
Yeah.
That's not a monkey walking upright like that.
It's kind of what. Yeah.
It's not a gorilla.
No. Yeah. I don't know that I believe in anything outside of the Lord and angels and devils and demons and things. I do believe in that.
Okay.
Well, who do you?
So
think?
who do you think created it? Maybe that was the first look and going, you know what? These probably. You know what? Let's get them
somebody
a little
with
less hairy.
A lot of time on their hands.
Well, who do you think freed you from our alien oppressors?
Yes.
Jesus, I guess.
Yes.
Is that what the documentaries told you about the Bible?
You're just going to have to go down the rabbit hole at some point.
Well, you'll have to send it to me.
You'll change up a little bit.
I want to talk to my pastor before I go down the rabbit hole. I want to know
He doesn't know. Don't act like he's some authority on aliens and Jesus.
What?
Okay?
Right.
You come to Dr. Medina for these sorts of things.
Normally I do, Los. There's, with the exception of Jesus.
But if I was to if I was to put it in those terms, would that not still remain everything valid for you?
Well, hang on. Say that again. You have to ask me a question.
I'm saying that if our alien oppressors, if Jesus is the one who delivered you from this bondage, would you not be thinking, wow, pretty good stuff there?
Yeah, but the Lord created everything, so you would have
sound
created.
like Corinne Jean-Pierre at this point.
You gotta hang up
hang
on
up
me.
and leave? Yeah. It's been great talking to you guys. You know what? I'm out of here.
And I'm not trying to change the
I'm just
subject.
reconstructing the story,
No, I'm with
yet
you.
still maintains the
It's in the
character
Bible.
and the.
We already showed you this last week. Even Stephanie jumped in and said, hey, look at this passage. It's in the Bible. You don't believe the word?
I believe
the sky people.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sky people.
I don't know about all this. You
better go talk to your pastor.
Yeah, I'm going to. Pastor Jeff, I'll come talk to you, buddy. Yes, if he'll let me. I mean, I'll ask him if he'll let us. I don't know that he will. Maybe he will. On things of the Lord and my faith, I'm going to lean on him most.
Not YouTube.
not YouTube. Yes, I trust Los. I trust you in damn near everything. And I'm over here.
That's the one you draw a line.
That's right.
I'm looking at Bigfoot videos.
Maybe just the slightest step too far. That's proof. All. Can I go back to that Korean? Just because you brought up the Korean Jean-Pierre thing and hanging up. Those cats up in Charlotte, obviously asking the questions is great, but they added that dial tone at the end. There's not a chance that the dial tone just popped in there
that quickly.
Yes.
No, they did the old trick where we have a phone thing on our board. So if I just pick up a different line, it has a dial tone. They did that game.
Yeah.
It's what we did with Bruce Hagen all the time over at 680.
Exactly.
Hang up on him, pull up another line.
When they hang up, that's what happens. You just have to hit the button in order to activate another line, and it's dial tone.
Yeah, and so they were smart because maybe when you listen to the original audio, you can't tell that she's hung up. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so they know it, and so they put that in there as just an audio prompt so people got what was happening. I'm not saying they were trying to be sinister. But what I am saying is, like, where did that come from? I mean, come on.
Yeah, they wanted to add that in, and they knew they had something here.
Yeah,
they knew
absolutely.
that this was going to go viral, and people in Atlanta would be talking about it, and conservative shows all over, because this is the kind of thing that the Democrats do. And yeah, make sure that you emphasize with the actual sound of her hanging up to show that. See that?
Yes, that's right. Los is so
Do you have any questions?
He's not even paying attention to anything we've said. He's focused.
I love it.
I heard what he said. I'm just
Sasquatch.
saying that I'm looking at Sasquatch videos.
He's
and I agree with him. This is what you do. This is the game you play.
He's 5 minutes in and he's only to 13 out of 15.
I got 12 more convincing videos.
They're going down.
Sasquatch.
He's only seen 2. And this entire time,
telling
he's only
you.
seen 2 videos.
Look at them operate over there.
Good
Look,
Lord.
what do you think that is? It's not like a close-up.
Of course it's not a close-up.
Thank God we have this technology now where we're able to track them down and see them and maybe help the families that are out there living in the woods.
I apologize for bringing this back up for you listening right now. I apologize to you personally. 404-741-1230.
No, everybody else knows. I mean, even Redneck Poet said that, I don't know if it's true, but I read Bigfoot hijacked that barge.
Well, I'll be. Yeah, that's a new one. That is a new layer that I've not seen yet.
Yeah.
He's coming up with, that's original content.
If they could only sign him to the Hawks. Could you imagine?
Oh, my God.
Bigfoot at center.
Yeah. Well, they need to do something because they're terrible. I mean, at this point, we'd
I'll take that or Teen Wolf.
Yeah.
Teen Wolf was dominant.
Yes, the dominant force in high school basketball.
Yeah.
And Michael J. Fox was cool. You know, back then, he was so awesome. And he wasn't a huge guy, and he turned into a wolf and could dunk all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Dude, I would roll the dice on that. If they say, hey, it's like our conversation from yesterday with the hypothetical.
Yes.
You know, would you rather? If they said, you know what, we're gonna stick something in you, but you'll occasionally turn into a wolf, but you can dunk and play basketball and you can make a lot of money. I think I'd roll the dice. I'd roll the dice. Yeah,
like any sport, maybe.
It's all made up, so you can go any way you want to with it.
Just running down, like playing for the Falcons, running down the field, and be like sitting in the end zone, like, hey, after I threw the ball to myself.
Now you're acting like werewolves don't exist. All right.
Right.
I see how it goes. I saw Twilight.
Do, but not like Teen Wolf ones. They don't play high school basketball, but
all right, we've got to stop.
That's an exaggeration.
We have got to stop. Morning Xtra next to 106.3. There are more arrests down at the Atlanta Training Center, and I guess it was a Bigfoot that got arrested in there. Is that right?
No.
Only 10 left to go.
But
Los will be over here watching the Sasquatch videos. Continue on.
I'll put it away till the break.
Yeah. Big dummies. Yes, absolutely. Big dummies. And you know what? Once again, they decide to take over. These people think they're more important than everybody else. And of course, have not gotten the full story yet. We do know that one person might be from Atlanta. The other person applied to live in Atlanta just a few months ago to be a part of this. Once again, they come from out of town.
There's an application to live in Atlanta?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know what basically, you know, obviously changing of address is the kind of application that I'm talking about. But, you know, but again, these are people who came out. Now, of course, they're all white people, all from out of state, all wearing masks and all part of this group that, well, they make plenty of money. This is a game they continue to play, and all it does is really turn the people against them. And I'm happy about that. But I'm also happy about the way that our first responders acted. They shut down roads. They really made it inconvenient for most of the people who live in Atlanta to try to get out of that area to go to work that day. And Atlanta Police Chief Darren Shirebaum, he had this to say, and I thought it was brilliant what he said.
This morning, at 144 feet off the ground, you saw the training and the dedication and the commitment of your first responders at work, Atlanta Fire Rescue and Atlanta Police Department, using their training to get two individuals out of a very unsafe and dangerous situation, and they did it flawlessly. Those skill sets were there because of training. The individuals that were present on that crane this morning is making the city less safe by trying to stop a training center that allows us to have those.
There you go. I mean,
which is what they asked for.
Fine way to drive it home.
Yeah.
De-escalation, training in order to make sure that things do not get to the point where people lose their lives or people get hurt. That's why you have something like this. Yet, the Antifa jokers, well, they want to change things up a little bit.
I don't know how people continue to fall for this. I really don't.
I don't think they are anymore. You know what? I think the people of Atlanta are like enough, and I think the city...
In this instance, you're probably right, but I just mean in general. Like, how do they continue to fall for the Antifa nonsense? Give them exactly what they want, and they still want more.
Well, because they
want to be a cowboy.
Right. They continue to go into these neighborhoods, and they've done it here in DeKalb County. They've done it here in the city of Atlanta. They go into the neighborhoods. They're like, oh, this is bad for you. And you know, this is... And then you find out that these people have $1 million pension funds that they go home to, or they go back to Martha's Vineyard to live with their billionaire parents because they just have nothing to do. 23-year-old Parker Demos is one of them. 22-year-old Fred Frederick Hetzel are the two people that they have arrested. Once again, these are people who continue to get arrested. These are people who all work for Antifa or are part of Antifa. These aren't activists. These are fascists. These are people who are trying to take over a movement and they are the same people that are pro-Palestine. They have this every little pin for every little activist because that's what they want to do. But I think that, Chief Darren Shirebaum then follows it up with this, which I also thought was a brilliant point.
They made our city less safe this morning by tying up multiple pieces of apparatus and police resources that if a true emergency had broken out in this city were tied up on a publicity stunt that this morning made the city less safe.
Publicity stunt is exactly right.
These people make it less safe.
That's exactly right, man.
They're the ones who took away. And there was a call, and then the fire chief goes, there was a call that we had actually put on hold or we were late to because we're here playing with these idiots. These people are domestic terrorists, and they're causing people in the city of Atlanta to have to deal with the fact that 911 is being tied up by these two 22-year-old spoiled little brats. That's what's going on here.
As simple as that.
And we're tired of it. And he even said, stop it.
Still remember, it's been about a good 15, 20 years since a guy who murdered his girlfriend decided, because he was suicidal, he was going all wild, I'm going to get up on a crane in Buckhead. And it shut all of the streets down of Buckhead. And it got to the point where it didn't even matter what he was involved in. Nobody knew. Everyone was just like, just jump and get it over with.
Right.
Okay, just get it over with. Now, they talked him down. Obviously, he gets arrested, and he's going to be in prison for the rest of his life. I'd be curious what kind of repercussions there are for doing this sort of a stunt, this publicity stunt.
Most likely, not a lot. I mean, let's be honest with you.
Are they out already?
Yeah, that's a great question.
They'll be out later today.
Exactly, that's the point, right?
Because the ACLU comes in.
Nothing is. They're not. They know they're not going to get in trouble. That's why they continue to do this stuff.
I would just think that the longer it inconveniences me, lot.
Here are your top stories in the state of Georgia for today, Thursday, March 28th. It is the final day of the legislative session under the Gold Dome. The frenzy begins at 10 a.m. and usually stretches past midnight as lawmakers try to push through bills that may or may not have been vetted. As the 40-day legislative session comes to a close, lawmakers will be voting on a $36 billion budget, changes to election rules, stricter immigration enforcement, and restrictions on transgender youth. 35-year-old Raquan Mose was arrested by Cobb County Police after he assaulted several women at a Kroger on Powers Ferry Road in Marietta. Witnesses told police that Mose had walked around the store and touched 4 women's buttocks while in the store. Cobb County Police Sergeant Eric Smith also said the suspect was wearing a hooded sweatshirt, but no pants and no underwear at the time. Mose was charged with 4 counts of sexual battery and willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. And in sports, the Hawks have won 3 in a row after a 30-point performance by DeJounte Murray led the Hawks to a 120-106 win over the Portland Trail Blazers. The Atlanta Braves will wait one more day before opening their 2024 season. Rain forecasts in the Northeast have postponed today's opener with the Philadelphia Phillies.
How many more games would they have won if they had Harry from Harry and the Hendersons playing?
That's a good point.
See?
It's quick.
When we come back on Extra 106.3, the New York Times shows you who they really are in the latest foolish move to try and stay relevant. Next on Extra 106.3, Tug, Rhino, and Los until 10. Glenn Beck at 10. He goes 10 to noon. Then Clay and Buck, noon to 3, 3 to 6. Local afternoon show with the camera. The Kimmer Show is only on Extra 106.3 every weekday afternoon on your drive home.
When you hear Jamie Raskin and Chuck Schumer and Morning Joe saying, boy, President Pukeface is as good as he's ever been, the best Biden ever, and claiming that Trump's a Nazi and all this stuff, they know that that's not true. The bottom line is it's hard to really believe that they want you to be deceived about the nature of your own country.
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Planning on painting the house. Part of the spring cleaning, the spring freshen up. The flowers are blooming, the trees blooming, the grass is growing. We want our house to look beautiful. And I was asking the guys, I was like, hey, what do you think about painting the gutters? Because my wife is hell-bent on painting our gutters. So our house is gray, windows are white, the shutters are black, and because we have so many trees, the gutters oftentimes stay dirty. And she was like, well, they wouldn't stand out quite as bad if you painted them. And I'm against this because I feel like it's so, I don't know, it's a fad.
If you hire Bigfoot, he can reach it.
Well, see, that'd be the point. I could just get him to clean them then, Lowe's. That'd be even easier. But since I don't have access, I don't have Bigfoot's number. I don't know where he's at. Lowe's, so I have to call Southern Exteriors. So I asked those guys, like, what do you think about painting the gutters? And they're like, I think it's a great idea. Here's why. And then I asked some friends, asked the neighbors, hey, what do you think about that? I'm trying to get somebody to be like, no, you shouldn't do it. I'm the only one that thinks that. So if you want top-notch service, if you want good advice about what you should do to the exterior of your home, call Southern Exteriors. 8779-SOUTHERN, 8779-SOUTHERN. And the beauty is you can say goodbye to worries about contractors disappearing. These guys stand by their work, ensuring your peace of mind. They've been down in Jackson, Georgia at their complex that's the size of the dadgum Pentagon for 20-plus years. Now, they've served the entire metro Atlanta area and the southeast for that time. So they've been around, they'll stay around. 8779-SOUTHERN and southernexteriors.co.
Electrify your senses with user-friendly technology and earth-friendlier power. Meet the all-electric 2023 Mercedes-Benz EQE 350 sedan. Satisfying for both driver and passenger with innovations that only Mercedes-Benz can deliver. Experience the all-electric 2023 Mercedes-Benz EQE 350 sedan today. Lease one for just $579 per month for 36 months with $67.03 due at signing exclusively from RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this vehicle and many other models. Visit today to see how to qualify. Special lease rate available only to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Service through RBM of Atlanta Sandy Springs through April 1st, 2024. Excludes tax, tag, title, and Georgia lemon law fees. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit rbmofatlanta.com or call us at 770-390-0700 for details.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that, too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, CPAPSETC.com.
What are your plans for your business this year? Hey, it's Tug. Do you want to expand and grow? Aren't you exhausted by going to lenders, building a relationship, and a week later, you got a new person to deal with? You have to start all over again? You don't have that with First Liberty Building and Loan. The Frost family has been helping businesses grow since the 90s, and they want to know you. Unlike big banks, they want to partner with you. The Frost family knows the patterns. They know the ebbs and flows. They know business. Get to know them at firstlibertyga.com. Building a building, buying a franchise, expanding. Reach out to them. Spend 10 minutes with them. See if you're a fit for them and if they're a fit for you. You do that at firstlibertyga.com. And by the way, if you're a young banker and want to work with a team that is faith-friendly and has a culture of excellence, First Liberty might be a good match. Reach out to them today. First Liberty Building and Loan. firstlibertyga.com. That's firstlibertyga.com.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. With daily commentary you'll hear throughout the day. And he's on live with the Morning Extra every Tuesday morning at 7:30. Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3. And catch all of Neil's commentary on the Extra app.
Tug, Rhino in front office, Los on the Morning Extra. Los and I've just been watching Chappelle Show skits and giggling like school children, you know. And Rhino walks in, he's gone and get him a cup of coffee, and he's like, "What's the matter with you two?"
You don't know about me and Joe Rogan?
We were watching the Fear Factor one.
I love that one.
And what brought it up is that we're about to. Los has got a cut that Joe Rogan is talking about what the New York Times is doing, which is incredibly ignorant. Of course, it's the New York Times, we expect. But then that led us, Rhino, to the Fear Factor skit, where Tyrone Biggums always says, Joe Rogan. He never says Joe. It's always his full name. Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan.
Some of you don't know about me, Joe Rogan.
That's so funny.
Dude, this is hysterical. One of the funniest skits in the world. I mean, Saturday Night Live could take so many lessons. And it's not like they did. I mean, they laid the foundation and have abandoned it so much. But anyway, point being, we're in here giggling like little schoolgirls. And that leads us to this New York Times making the foolish move that they did, and Joe calls it out.
I did not know about this, and I'm so glad that Joe Rogan covered it in his podcast. So, in the interest of trying to make stories, I don't want to say sensational, but to kind of give you a little bit more background, the New York Times has decided what they're going to do is they're going to put their people who are writing these articles and have short videos about them. So let's just say, for instance, if all we did was write, and then let's say you read an article and it was from Rhino about what's going on in the Georgia House, and then Rhino puts up a 3-minute video and it's him talking about it. You would then go, okay, I kind of see I understand who this person is and where they're coming from. Take a listen, because this is the ultimate backfire. The New York Times, we know, is wildly leftist, but then they start having these people that whatever you think of in terms of soy boy, who they really are, 10 cats, that sort of stuff. Take a listen from the Joe Rogan podcast as they get into this audio of this person explaining the story about Donald Trump and the article that was written.
Seized on those comments and said they were an example of him calling for political violence or predicting violent actions if he didn't win in November. His supporters said that those comments were taken out of context.
I'd like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you.
Trump has a history of using violent rhetoric dating back to his 2016 campaign. That language took on new significance after the January 6th attack on the Capitol in 2021. And throughout his third campaign for president, he's been getting a lot of attention for the way he talks about violence and retribution on the trail. He suggested that
So this is the New York Times.
It's all falling apart.
This is these hard-nosed reporters with the cup of coffee that are like chasing down Lees, and they're pulling their hair out, and they're meeting people in back alleyways. This is Woodward and Bernstein.
Do people think that's
this is Watergate? Like no, but I mean they're essentially like ultra hard left activists that are masquerading as journalists.
Yes,
totally 100%. Totally nails it. And of course, that man couldn't have sounded, as far as like the quintessential person who's at the New York Times criticizing Donald Trump, like, look at his violent rhetoric. Like, oh my God.
Punching in the face.
Yeah.
Like, punching in the face? Are you serious? That's what you're calling violent rhetoric?
Yes.
How many times, even as kids, we're like, I'm going to punch that dude right in the face. Just as a... Right. It's almost just a...
Bop you in the nose.
It's a throw.
To the moon with you.
Exactly, Rhino. That's exactly right.
It's so funny because... But that's... I picture this kid sitting in a beanbag chair, but he's 100% right. There's no journalism anymore. It's, this is my activist outlet. This is my blog now. That's what the New York Times has become. But, there is bloodbath, Tug. Bloodbath. Exactly. Do you even understand what that means?
All you have to do is just don't put them on video. At least pretend to play the game. The minute you decide to put these people out there in this way, you feed every stereotype that each one of us believes about the New York Times, including Joe Rogan, who's like, good, I'm justified.
Exactly, because you just proved my point.
You just did this on the biggest podcast in the world where the New York Times comes across looking like idiots.
Like dopes, because they are, but that's the thing.
It's a nursery school.
It's exactly.
It's a nursery school for millennials. That's what these organizations have become. Come on in. You'll go. We have a yoga class at 10. Go ahead. There is no investigative journalism. I love that they use the Woodward. I love that they use that, basically meeting in a back alley to get the stories, the way that journalists used to work to try to track down things and give you the information. There's no more of that. This is the kind of joke that is the mainstream media at this point. It's no different than what we see here in Atlanta. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution, you don't think we have the same kind of activists? You read an article. Read it. God. There's not one in here. There's no way that you could sit and look at one of these articles and not see some kind of bias pointed out. It may be hidden a little bit, but it's there.
I don't even think it's it's hidden that much. I mean, if you seriously though, when you read that stuff, you're like, are you kidding me?
I mean, the word oppress, when they're going through the legislation today, okay, there's obviously things in there that are protecting young girls from men being in their bathroom. Oppressive transgender, restrictions is the way that an AJC will put it. You don't need the word oppressive. Yeah, that's a waste of time. It's not oppressive.
Well, but that's
because it's not.
And that
shows their partisanship.
That's right. How do we put this in a spotlight? How do we put this in a context that the people who want their opinion affirmed, who read our paper, will get their opinion affirmed?
And the funny part is, like Greg Bluestein, who I really do like a lot.
I do too, but
he's not even as bad as some of them in there. At least he does. He's still a journalist in my eyes because he will write good ones. Now, does his bias come in sometimes? Yes. Yeah, a little bit, but it's nothing like an opinion writer now like Patty Murphy, who is just totally off the deep end.
Well, but I think he has to have some sort of, at least appearing to have standards, because you're a journalist. When you're a straight up opinionist, there's nothing. I mean, that's what we are.
She's supposed to be a journalist, but they have to, take her articles and go, you know what, this is more of an opinion piece now.
Well, who are you writing for?
That's
who are your subscribers?
Yep.
They want their opinion affirmed, and that's what you're giving.
I'll give you an example. We are a year removed from the New York Times. As much as we all know, COVID came out of a laboratory. I mean, come on. There was a laboratory in Wuhan, China that was
the FBI's confirmed it now.
They were doing gain-of-function research. And a year ago, the New York Times gave you an article, Scientists Revisit Data on Raccoon Dogs and COVID, Stressing the Unknowns. They were saying it was from a raccoon dog.
Oh, of course.
A year ago. A year ago.
Raccoon dogs? I don't even know what that is. I mean,
and you're pretty country, and you're like, "What's a raccoon dog?"
That's right. You can't get much by me, No. When it comes to that stuff,
you're pretty smart.
My mama's probably had most of them as a pet.
This is what these people, depending on what they're told, here. Give us some cover.
You better take this and run, Herschel, run. I mean, it's like hand it to Herschel and let him just mow people down, because that's what they do.
He talks so violently.
Oh my gosh, just. Anyway. All right, when we come back, if you're a judge and your daughter works in Democrat politics, do you think that you can give a Republican a fair trial? It's an interesting question, but it's happening in the Donald Trump case. That discussion after a Neil Bortz report, a Fox News update, and more of the Morning Extra. Tug, Rhino, and Los until 10.
It's time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Every once in a while, I like to throw out a commentary like this. Frankly, it makes some people mad. But look, we're all going to pay the tab for Joe Biden pardoning all these student loans. So I thought you might like to hear some of the nonsense that these deadbeat students come up with, especially in their doctoral dissertations. So here are a few excerpts from these brilliant graduate students who don't want to pay back student loans. Quoting now, "This article relishes in distinctness. It revels in hidden spaces and in voices crying to be heard. It draws attention to what is not realized, and in the realizing celebrates the moving on into the not yet known and the politics of movement. Using a Deleuzian logic of sense and sensing immersion in Bachelard's politics of space, the article plays with opacity, fragility, and imperceptibility as mistiness, flavor, perfume, tone, and mood populate its word plays and topics of concern. The article listens to and creates narratives that live in moments as events. The article actively desires to talk, listen, and hesitate in the excitement of dreams and un/dis/re/covery. By tentatively working with and in the post-human, the article toils in the indistinctness of those always opening and closing crevices, fissures, and interstices that disappear in the slow-moving glacial heaves, flows, and overflows of discourse and materiality." Unquote. Does that mean anything to you? What in the world are we getting for our money? Neil Bortz, Extra 1063.
Hey there, it's Janelle King, host of The Janelle King Show, right here on Extra 1063 FM, where we are unafraid and unapologetic. We explore the topics that matter the most. You can catch us on Saturdays at 4 p.m. and encore episode on Sundays at 9 a.m. And catch up on past episodes by going to the podcast park right here at Extra 1063 or wherever you get your podcasts every single Tuesday. Until then, stay unafraid, stay unapologetic, and never stop seeking the truth.
And that was her plan. Letitia James' plan from the beginning is to get Trump and take all his properties. And if they did that.
The Kimmer Show every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 1063 and the Extra app.
It's March 28th, and this is your Fox Daily Snapshot. It's National Black Forest Cake Day. This decadent dessert hails from the Black Forest mountain range in southwest Germany, where a special liqueur is folded into the cake mixture. Traditionally, this is a chocolate cake with multiple layers of whipped cream and cherries before being decorated with more whipped cream, more cherries, and chocolate shavings. In the UK, pastry makers also add sour cherries and Kirschwasser, a liqueur of tart cherries. However, there is an actual law on the books in Germany that Kirsch must be part of the mixture if it's to be considered authentic. Also on this date, in 1885, the Salvation Army in the U.S. is officially organized. And in 1963, the New York Titans of the AFL changed the team name to New York Jets after the franchise is sold. If it's your birthday today, you share it with Hall of Fame head basketball coach Jerry Sloan, born in 1942. I'm Tushar Saxena, and that's your Fox Daily Snapshot.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. The 8 a.m. hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air.
Concern about the cargo on the ship that brought down the bridge in Baltimore. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That ship's still grounded near the wreckage of the bridge it collided with.
There's about 4,700 containers on there, 56 were holding hazardous materials. And in that NTSB press conference we learned last night, some have leaked.
Now, Fox's Griff Jenkins is near the bridge in Baltimore. The morning after, divers recovered 2 bodies in a submerged truck. 4 other construction workers remain missing and presumed dead, but they won't search today.
Because they believe that the wreckage underneath the water is so hazardous towards the divers, they're going to move to the salvage effort to start trying to get cranes out here.
Iran-backed militants have again targeted an American warship in the Red Sea.
U.S. Central Command says it successfully destroyed 4 long-range attack drones in self-defense. The Houthis have waged a months-long campaign, first against commercial ships they said had links to Israel, then against the military alliance out there to stop them.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Former President Trump's lawyers will go to court in Georgia this morning trying to get the state's election interference case dismissed, claiming it's criminalizing his free speech rights. Meanwhile, Ashley Merchant, a lawyer for a Trump co-defendant, tells Fox they'll also try to get the judge to remove DA Fani Willis over a romantic relationship with the special prosecutor she hired.
We're going to be arguing that his decision actually should have gone farther, and it should have actually disqualified her.
The judge allowed Willis to stay on the case because Nathan Wade resigned. The former president won't be in court there. He'll instead be in New York to attend the wake of a New York City police officer shot and killed at a traffic stop Monday. President Biden will attend a fundraiser in New York City with former presidents Obama and Clinton. And in a new Fox News poll,
26% of voters say the economy is good. 38% don't like how President Biden is handling it. Looking at the presidential race head-to-head, former President Trump has an edge over President Biden, 50 to 45%.
That's Fox's Gernal Scott. America's listening to Fox News.
Pure Talk believes in American values, and that free should mean exactly that. Free. Switch to Pure Talk today and get a free Samsung 5G smartphone. Qualifying plans start at just $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, 15 gigs of data, and mobile hotspot. Just go to puretalk.com/puretalk and claim your eligibility for your free brand new Samsung 5G smartphone. Again, go to puretalk.com/puretalk to switch to Pure Talk today.
Hey, it's Jesse Kelly. Are you still on the fence about owning gold? It's time to pull the trigger with the Oxford Gold Group and buy gold and silver. Nobody can predict the future, but we can't put our head in the sand either. The Oxford Gold Group are the pros. They make owning gold and silver simple and easy to understand. Call Oxford Gold Group right now and you may qualify for up to $10,000 in free precious metals. Call 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD.
Hey, it's Clay Travis. Buck Sexton and I are coming your way at noon, but right now we're getting your morning started right with Tug, Rhino, and Carlos Medina on the Morning Extra.
I want to ask you a question. Did you grow up eating hot dogs that someone had thrown the weenies in just a pot and turned on the boiling water, and then, the water eventually would turn like a pink color? Did you grow up with those? Because I did.
Yeah, well, they're so in New York they have carts. We call them dirty water dogs because the water doesn't get changed out. Dirty water dogs are a very famous, yummy.
I've eaten
treat.
some of those.
Yeah,
those street vendor guys.
Oh yeah, they're good.
Oh my Lord, they're
the
brats. Yeah, so yes.
Yeah. You just bite in and you hear snap.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I love it. The reason I bring this up, and I know, Los, you don't like hot dogs.
I haven't had it since like third grade.
Yeah,
I had one that made me sick, and I haven't tasted them since.
And I eat about maybe one a year, one a year. How much? Occasionally, Rhino?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I probably have. I don't know. I mean, I haven't had one in a while. Well. Yeah,
maybe,
no, I'm trying to think of
last weekend.
But if you like food, brats and sausages are different.
But that's different. I think that's
totally different. I get the Hebrew National hot dogs. I'll eat those.
I don't mean like
probably about 5 or 6 times a year.
Okay, all right.
I mean, I go to baseball games.
That's like our sales manager, Colin Wheat here at Dickey
Broadcast.
Broadcast.
If you care for someone, you don't give them a hot dog.
Because it's just all filler.
And if you want something like, nourishing and yummy and fun, typically you don't pick a hot dog first. It's like a drunken aspect of your day.
Yes.
Like, I'm going to eat that hot dog.
It is one of those drunk things for sure. Like Quick Trip, that's when they sell like at night, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Like roller food.
Boy, they sell those, man.
Okay, I'm glad you brought up Quick Trip because this is why I'm bringing this up. 7-Eleven announced a new sparkling water that tastes like their Big Bite hot dogs.
That's disgusting.
That's the grossest thing I've ever heard in my life.
The worst thing about a hot dog is the hot dog burp. And anybody you're around when they burp the hot dog, and even yourself. So imagine that in a soda.
Okay. You said that. I agree with it. Lowe's hadn't had a hot dog since the 3rd grade, so I guarantee you he agrees with it. Board Up Joe Virgin River says that's the best part.
The hot dog burp, it lasts with you all day. It's like you're eating a bunch of hot dogs.
What is the matter
amazing.
with you?
God, you eat hot dogs like 5 times a year. I maybe eat 50 hot dogs a year.
Yeah, it shows.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I look the part. It works. But the hot dog burp's easily the best part.
Bro.
Unless you have a really good one that has amazing snap.
Now I know why. So do you do this, like, do you take a girl on a date and then hot dog burp throughout the date with her?
Oh. You keep this under wraps, don't you?
No, please don't.
Please keep this under wraps.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm not spouting my love of hot dogs to everyone.
No, you keep
just
this
over radio.
You keep this under wraps, and if things continue to progress and you go down a certain road, this might be the one thing where you know she's the one. down the road, there's going to be one where you're going to say, "I just want you to know I'm really into hot dog burps,
and I like to burp after
I like to burp a lot." And she's going to go, "That's so sweet." Okay,
yeah.
So the press release,
but the rest of them will leave.
Yes,
that's fine,
and understandably.
The one time Aaron almost hit me was after a hot dog burp in the car. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, because that was horrible, and I felt so bad because I tried to roll the window down.
Yeah.
I think we were coming back from like Nashville, and I tried to roll the window down. I was like, trying to blow it out because I know how bad those are. Horrible.
Well, it's not real food. So when it comes back out, what do you think it comes back out as?
So they had a press release, and they partnered with this brand called Miracle Seltzer on 4 flavors: lemon lime. Okay, I'll try that. Green apple. Probably not one that I want, but I would maybe give it a try.
Makes sense.
It's sweet orange.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of like this Zero FG has a little bit of an orange flavor to it. And then hot dog.
That's disgusting.
It's just
it's just disgusting.
Do you know? So here's my take on this. This is what I believe.
How did you find that? Like, I want to know how they came up with the flavor. Did they like strain hot dogs? Did they boil the water and then use the water?
I don't know the answer to that. But what I will say is, they're trying to get press for the ones that they're going to sell, the 3 that they're going to sell. So they was like, hey, let's throw in this because people will talk about it.
Like a Dylan Mulvaney special edition can.
Well, it's like if I was to sell you a cake and I'd be like, I have chocolate, I have vanilla, I have ice cream, and foot.
Yeah, right. You're going to tell somebody.
You'd be like, what does foot taste like? Like feet.
But when you go and you talk to people that that are at the party, it's going to come up. You'll be like, you won't believe what other flavors they have. And then it becomes a conversation and they're like, where is this place? I think it's brilliant marketing.
Yeah,
I really do. I mean, it's gross as all get out. Yeah, it is. And they know that. But they know how to market, and that's why they're doing this.
It's like, what are your flavors? Well, there's vanilla, there's chocolate, and then there's Boy Scouts after a 20-yard march underwear.
That's delicious.
You're gonna love it. It's so fragrant. It's like oh god.
Yuck.
Unfortunately, I think there'd be too many people lining up from Hollywood for that one.
Just so gross.
Yeah, so
back hair sweat.
Well, we have cherry,
Famunda cheese,
and then we have back sweat. I love it.
Swamp butt.
Swamp butt.
Oh, no.
But we found a way to can it.
That's right.
It's different.
We
You might
strain
like
it.
Yeah.
Porta potty flavored water.
We're using,
God.
is it a colander that you strain with? Is
Yes.
that right? Yeah. We use a colander.
We use a colander.
So yuck and so gross. I thought y'all would appreciate that. Morning Extra on Extra 106.3. This is one of those things where it's impossible to take politics out of everything. I know that. And I don't expect politics to come out of everything, but I expect people to try to not be so overt about it. And when a judge that's on a trial with a Republican, specifically Donald Trump, and his daughter works for in Democrat politics, it gives you a strong idea of where the dad's head is. It's not a guarantee. Kids think differently than their parents, and okay, that's fine. But most likely, it leads to there's a lot of similarities in the judge and his daughter. Can you get a fair trial if you're Donald Trump? And it seems like the answer is no.
Donald Trump was left an opening, and the opening was that during this gag order, that Juan Merchant, who is the judge over which case is it? I can't even remember now. It's the Alvin Bragg hush money.
The hush money case. Yeah, there you go.
There's so many I can't remember which one's which anymore.
And all of them are so flimsy, and it's all it's like exactly.
By the way, for everyday random American, they just are like, oh, it's just another case. That's why these don't hold water with people.
That's right.
Yeah, and they don't.
When it's 91, you're like, oh, okay, this is overblown. Anyway.
Yeah, so with this gag order, the one thing he left open was, well, you could talk about the judge and his family and some of the court staff, but we don't want you talking about any kind of witnesses, this, that, and the other. So, well, then Donald Trump took that advantage and said, okay, I'd like to talk about Lauren Merchant, the daughter of this judge who served as an executive at the progressive political consulting firm Authentic Campaigns. Now, these campaigns, they worked on the campaigns of Vice President Harris, Hakeem Jeffries, and President Biden. Imagine that. This is the daughter of this judge who also, by the way, has talked many times and, in fact, talked a lot about Donald Trump and supporting both of this. These people make money based on the fact of making sure that other people get elected other than Trump. And this is the judge who is overseeing this. Now, there was an account on X that appeared that belonged to Lauren Merchant, the daughter of the judge. And it basically had an illustration of an imprisoned Trump as its profile picture. If there's not anything that tells you that this is politically motivated, if you can't see what's going on, then I don't know what to tell you anymore. This is as ridiculous as can be. It's okay for them to go out in the news and talk about, how bad man he is and how horrible he is, but he's not allowed to talk about anything. They continue to put the gag order on, but I'm glad he used the opportunity and the loophole to find this.
Well, it's not that judges can't have their own politics. That's totally fine. It's just a matter of, can you keep that politics out of the courtroom? Yeah. That is what you have the criticism that's come out of New York with the fine that occurred with Donald Trump, the excessive amount where it almost turned into, okay, how much money does he have? All right, we're going to this because we need to take the wind out of his sails politically. This one, I don't want to say that the daughter is like the end-all, be-all. This is why you can't be on this. but it just adds more fuel to the fire.
Yeah, it looks
can you have
improper.
Can you have a judge that doesn't have these sorts of things? And again, it's family members, but still, can you have someone that we're not having to point at and say, why does your family have so many close ties to an establishment that is wildly anti-Trump? Because it calls into question who you are at that point.
Why can't it be clean? Like, why is it when you look at it, there's always something, especially in Atlanta, same way?
We're not asking this about judges in Florida. All right? Like here, we're talking about, well, this person did work for Fonnie Willis and did contribute to her campaign. I mean, these are the things that we're having to bring up, and it should not be part of this legal system.
And yet, all you have to do is look. And you will find over and over and over again those things that stand out like a sore thumb that you can't miss, that you can't look over. Like Lo said, Rhino, it's not the end all be all necessarily.
No,
but it just adds to the same. You wonder why people don't pay attention to it anymore. This is just another reason.
Yeah, exactly, because it's fallen flat. You don't believe anything that the media or the press or these judges tell you anymore. It doesn't seem normal to any American that this is the way that this country is going, that we have a judge, a prosecutor, everybody who all happen to be in the jurisdiction, which is 96% or more Democrat, and everybody that is there is a supporter of some Democrat or some politician or the other, and against the one person who's running for office. Trump is running for office. He's been attacked every single day. And every single one of these allegations, by the way, something is falling off. One of the counts, 2 of the counts, 6 of the counts, they're all being realized as complete bogus. And we're going to continue down this path. And then you have these judges making decisions before there's even a trial. How can you not see it? Yes, everything is falling flat. And I hope that justice will prevail, because I believe that the justice in this is that our justice system gets torn apart, looked at, and say, hey, how do we make this a little bit more really, truly impartial?
Trump faces 34 counts in New York, alleging the falsified business records when he reimbursed Michael Cohen for making payments to Stormy Daniels to conceal the affair ahead of the 2016 election. He's pleaded not guilty. The trial date's April 15th.
It just feels so weird when you talk about one of the things that when somebody accuses you of something, I don't care if you did it or not. I really don't. In this case, I just don't. And the weird part is you paid somebody money to go away, and then they don't exactly go away. I'm like, it's kind of strange. It kind of feels political.
Indeed it
sure
does.
Is.
Morning Extra at Extra 106.3. Bill Maher is launching a new platform for podcasts. And there's times when we see things that Bill Maher says, and we're like, okay, that makes sense. I mean, he's a liberal. Let's not jump around it. I don't think we ever do. We make it clear that we don't agree with him.
He's a classic liberal in that he believes in the Bill of Rights, but there's the far wild left end has largely left him, and so he comes across it sometimes as being more sane
or moderate. But I will tell you that at least I do have respect for Bill Maher.
I do.
Yeah,
somewhat. A little bit.
This actually made me go, okay. He's launching this podcast platform, and the first person he hired is somebody that I really like, and it's Sage Steele. She's going to do a podcast on his platform.
Smart.
So, right, she's brilliant. She's a conservative, which goes against pretty much everything that he says he stands for.
Military family. She's very likable.
Oh my gosh, she's wonderful. She's one of my favorite. But even before I knew her politics, I was always a fan of her on ESPN. Maybe it was just she said things that made sense to me, and that's why I became such a fan. But he's hired her to do this podcast, and I appreciate the fact that he goes, you know what? I'm going to either A, make money off something that I believe is valuable, free speech, or B, I'm going to make money off of someone that I disagree with completely. It's a new revenue stream for me. Yeah. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. Because he's not shy in saying that he's going to do everything he can to make sure that Donald Trump is not elected as president again. So he's been out there and he tells, but again, he's been pretty fair with the way he looks at things. I think that some of the things that he talks about is a little over the top, but he has to be at one point. But yeah, I think it's a brilliant idea, and it especially shows after what NBC did to Ronna McDaniel.
Exactly
and
right. That's a great point.
Hey, at least I have common sense when it comes to this. I don't agree with him. I think he's a horrible, horrible man when he did his movies about religion and other stuff.
Sure.
But otherwise, when it comes down to this, okay, at least he's being fair and balanced.
Radio and television are different. And the reason why I say that they are different from a podcast platform, it's that you kind of have what you have. Like Fox News will hire random liberals, and they will be part of their discussion, or they'll have a segment here and there. But by and large, that's not what they're trying to sell people. MSNBC is on the opposite end of it. They do the same thing. Radio has shown you can't ever do an ultra liberal talk show and it have financial success. It's just never worked. Mm-mm. But when you're on a podcast platform, it's a menu. It's almost like, here are all the dishes. Now, you don't have to like the fish. You don't have to like the steak. You don't have to like any of this other, but it's on the menu. And so I think it's smart that he's basically offering a menu of items for what, because it's only a click. You're not held hostage by anything in the podcast world.
Right? No, of course not. And look, I don't know what he's going to pay her. I don't know. I mean, that I don't have any idea about that, right? And that's the thing. By and large, podcasts do not make money. I mean, most often it is a passion play. Is there places where some of them make a little bit? Yes. Joe Rogan is probably the unicorn.
Again, we talk about revenue versus value.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
The amount of value they provide is never tied to the revenue that is going on with those shows.
Yeah. Morning Xtra on Extra 106.3. 8 o'clock hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier experts. 770-GET-HEAT or centralheat.com.
Sorry. Here are your top stories in the state of Georgia for today, Thursday, March 28th. It's the final day of the legislative session under the Gold Dome. The frenzy begins at 10 a.m. and usually stretches past midnight as lawmakers try to push through bills that may or may not have been vetted. As the 40-day legislative session comes to a close, lawmakers will be voting on a $36 billion budget, changes to election rules, stricter immigration enforcement, and restrictions on transgender youth. 35-year-old Raquan Mose was arrested by Cobb County Police after he assaulted several women at the Kroger on Powers Ferry Road in Marietta. Witnesses told police that Mose walked around the store and touched 4 women's buttocks while in the store. Cobb County Police Sergeant Eric Smith also said the suspect was wearing a hooded sweatshirt, but no pants, no underwear at the time. Mose was charged with 4 counts of sexual battery and willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. And in sports, the Hawks have won 3 in a row after a 30-point performance by DeJounte Murray led the Hawks to a 120-106 win over the Portland Blazers. The Atlanta Braves will wait one more day before opening their 2024 season. Rain forecasts in the Northeast have postponed today's opener with the Philadelphia Phillies. The two teams will kick off the season tomorrow at 3:05.
Next on the Morning Xtra, I usually dismiss anything the UN says or does, and that includes a demand that they have for Israel. I dismiss it almost immediately. Says the Morning Xtra at Extra 106.3. When we're done at 10, you get the Glenn Beck program, 10 until noon. And you'll hear from Jeremiah Johnston. He's of the Christian Thinker Society. He's the president, and they're going to talk about the 5 reasons why the Shroud of Turin is authentic. I heard a little bit of this yesterday. Fascinating. It is fascinating, this discussion. So make sure when you're listening on the Extra 106.3 app, you continue when this show is done into the Glenn Beck program.
Stream Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, Glenn Beck, Fox News, and even NASCAR on Sundays. Anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app. Download the app now and get 24/7 access to the live stream, the latest news, and everything you need to know about Atlanta's only conservative talk station. Download the Extra 106.3 app for Apple or Android and check out even more great original content at thepodcastpark.com.
I've never started a business. Not like I have a little LLC that I do some side work on, but I mean a business that employs people, that makes, major money. I've never done that. I don't know that I'm brave enough to do that. Maybe you are. And what do you need? Capital. I mean, it all comes down to money, right? We'd all do it maybe if we had plenty of money. But your idea has legs, and you know it. But you've been talking to the bank. They're not giving you any of the necessary capital. You've asked for loans, they have not done it. That's where First Liberty Building and Loan comes in. FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com. There was a railroad tie manufacturer in South Carolina. Needed $9 million to build a facility there. Other lenders would not approve it because of startup. They're not going to approve that. No way. They're not lending to anybody. Definitely not a startup. First Liberty Building Loan, they were able to provide the financing to build this facility. It's near completion and will begin production soon. Can you be just like this business? Could you be the next success story? When you get the capital you need from First Liberty Building and Loan, Brant Frost is the man that heads up this company, and he does not compromise on their mission, and that is to honor and serve. If you could use this to the benefit of your company, reach out to him today. FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
The Braves are back for the 2024 season and ready to fight for their 7th consecutive division title. Don't miss the opening homestand against the Arizona Diamondbacks April 5th through the 7th, followed by the New York Mets April 8th through the 11th. And on April 8th, the Braves will honor the 50th anniversary of Hank Aaron's record-breaking 715th home run with a special Hank Aaron bobblehead giveaway together with Truist. Visit Braves.com/promos to get your tickets today. Atlanta Braves Baseball. We are Braves country.
Jim the Arcus here with exciting news. The All Four Seasons Home Show returns to Atlanta Radio this Saturday morning at 9, bringing you advice and tips from some of Georgia's top business owners. Join Dan Watkins and myself when we will be helping you make smarter purchases, save money, and keep from getting ripped off. That's the All Four Seasons Home Show every Saturday morning at 9, right here on Extra 106.3.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
I'm Chad Pergram with the Speaker's Lobby. There are obscure but critical parliamentary tools in the House of Representatives which lawmakers might use to either fund the government or send money to Ukraine. House Speaker Mike Johnson has been dubious about aiding Ukraine, even after the Senate adopted a bill in February. One way to bypass the Speaker is by defeating the previous question. The House often takes an initial vote to compel a second vote on an issue at hand, kind of like voting to take a vote. That primary vote is called ordering the previous question, or a PQ in congressional shorthand. If the House adopts the PQ, it is voted to take the next vote. And that almost always happens. But things get a little weird if the House defeats the previous question. The minority, or whoever is trying to defeat the PQ, then marshals control of the House floor for an hour. They can bring up anything they want. In this case, a rule to set the parameters of debate on a bill to aid Ukraine. In short, if the House approves the rule, then it's on to debate the aid bill, and then a vote on the underlying measure itself. With the Speaker's Lobby, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
Hey gang, it's your old friend Neil Bortz. You can catch me every Tuesday morning here on the Morning Xtra. Now back to Tug, Rhino, and Carlos on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Okay, just because we're playing Van Halen and it's Jump, 1984, everybody knows the song, I feel obligated to go around the room. Van Halen or Van Hagar?
Oh, I'm Van Halen.
Van Halen.
Van Hagar.
I'm Van Hagar.
Van Halen.
Van Halen. Oh, so it's split 50-50. All right. There's no reason behind it. I just felt curious. I mean, I just...
It's like two different bands.
Yet at the same time, the same band.
Yeah.
It is weird.
It is how, I don't know, I guess...
not many bands can do that.
I guess the weird part is I feel like when I listen to Van Halen fronted by Sammy Hagar, I'm like... Well, this is more of a serious band.
Yeah.
Even though there's
I'll
no more
that.
comedic kind of fun guy than Sammy Hagar.
That's right. But it is, yeah. David Lee Roth was kind of like a super
He's a rock star.
Super
energetic rock star entertainer.
But Hagar is too, but in a completely different way.
See, I think Hagar is a better singer. I think I think he's better in that regard. I just love Van Halen.
There's not a wrong answer, man. I love both, to be honest. But if I'm going to choose, I like Sammy Hagar.
I think it's my childhood. Growing up with
drawing the Van Halen logo.
I drew it all over my books. You used to go and get the paper bags at the grocery store to make your book covers for school. To cover your textbooks, and that's all I did was draw that and listen to Van Halen. So I guess it's just kind of more.
That's nostalgic for you, man. I understand it completely.
I'm telling you, listen to songs like this, and then you fast forward like 8 years, and you get like right now,
dude.
Two completely different genres of music.
Absolutely, Right Now is a great song.
I love that song.
So, and the message is good.
Yep.
Yeah, you weren't doing a song like that with David
Lee Roth. No, because if David Lee Roth was trying to do a whole introspective, like, look what's going on around you right now. Yeah, that's not.
It'd be sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Exactly.
It would be
girls, being a gigolo.
Yeah, it's just
it's
the gigolo.
Girls
what he did when he was solo.
Karate kick.
I know.
Just all that
Tight
stuff.
britches.
That's right.
Entertainer.
Complete
rock
entertainer.
Star entertainer.
Absolutely.
Almost a parody of being a rock star.
A little bit.
Yeah.
That's actually really true.
And he must have been such a giant beating to deal with, because I still remember when they got back together. And that lasted for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
They were like, done. Just can't handle this guy anymore, ever.
They put the Best of Both Worlds Greatest Hits album out, and then they did a tour, or attempted to do a tour, where it was David Lee Roth and Sammy Hagar, and they would rotate off. And David Lee Roth was such a D-bag that they were like, all right, we're done with this.
It's like, there's a reason why we did this.
Yeah, there's a reason why we broke up.
I was more about Eddie and Alex anyway. I mean.
Oh, no. That wasn't a slap at it. I mean, it's just kind of what that was.
Oh, no, it's true. I'm just saying, like, it was Eddie and Alex that, just the music and everything they put together that.
For sure.
That guy could play a guitar. Oh, bro.
Yes, one of the greatest
Watch that all day.
All right, I want to present this to you, and it's another thing that it makes you go, did we even really need to say this? But apparently we did, or they did. A guest on CNN warned viewers not to waste time filming themselves if they ever found themselves in a vehicle submerged in water.
We live in a society now when anytime there's an emergency, what's the first thing people do? They take out their cell phone and they want to film it. No. Do these dress rehearsals in your mind. I call them fire drills for life. Listen, we have so many things that come up. Active shooters, plane emergencies. This is another one to add to the list. Just spend a couple of dollars. That makes sense. Have that seatbelt cutter. Have that glass break, sway yourself away. So God forbid this happens, you're good to go.
Do not film yourself. All the things he said after that are great advice. Of course, have all those things. The fact that he felt the need, and that was a former NYPD officer, his name was Bill Stanton. He was on with Kate and Collins on The Source on CNN. He brought up, don't film yourself. How stupid do you have to be? To say, I'm submerging, my car is sinking to the bottom of the river, I think I'll film it. That is beyond stupid. If you need to be told that, then there's something wrong with you. I don't believe most people need to be told that. I don't. There's not a shred of me that believes that anybody in that moment would break out their phone and film. CNN thought it was so important that they put this man on to let you know not to do it.
But you know what? I mean, how many people do? Right? Like,
I don't know.
Look,
I don't know.
I'm telling you, I can see Democrats, I can see these crazy people, and I can see them all. I've seen video after video after video of stupid things that they film themselves doing. I don't doubt it at all. I could see them just, oh my God, look at my house. It's so much on fire. Like, oh, I got burned a little bit. Can you see it? Can you see the flames? Everything is for a like. Everything is for exposure. Everything is for fame. That's all we've become is how many views can I get on this social media? I mean, we're all guilty of it. I get it. But some people, this is their entire life. I don't doubt that people film themselves in those situations.
People are dumb.
Not that dumb. I can't believe that real people are that dumb.
No, we're trained to do certain things, and people will immediately reach for their phone. Again,
while the car is filling up with water.
I'm telling you, people will do some really weird stuff.
I just can't believe it.
Tuck, you're so sheltered sometimes if you don't believe that. Come on.
I do not
You've
believe it.
seen these people.
I know. I get it. When the house is burned up, you're already to safety if you're filming, the house from
No, I'm saying they do it
afar.
inside.
I've never seen that. I've never seen
Crazy
it. I'm
people.
not saying it wouldn't happen. I've never seen it. I'm just trying to wrap my head around someone's car is sinking. It's drowning is one of the biggest fears that any human being has. And yet, as your car is sinking and water is you're breaking out your phone. I cannot believe that human beings would do that.
If you want to follow along with the investigation, like Mitch McConnell's sister-in-law, apparently when her car got submerged, when it went into whatever pond, it was active for 8 minutes where she was making phone calls. And there's a part of me that goes, you had 8 minutes to, you're either saying your goodbyes because this is like a suicide attempt, or if I've got 8 minutes, I'm busting out like you can't believe how many windows.
Exactly.
Even if it's using my phone to break that window.
Exactly. Okay, now we're talking common sense. Now we're talking real.
But this is where certain people are conditioned to do certain things. If you train them to do certain things, which is grab your phone. Grab your phone because your phone is your lifeline. Your phone's going to do everything for you.
Back to predictive programming. If that's the case, that dude that we played earlier about the predictive programming things happening because people see it over and over and over.
Yeah. What?
Then then he's 100%.
Why do you think we have when we have violence in our subways? There's always 4 videos of it, and only one person out of 100 ever helps.
Well, nowadays you're afraid to help because you're going to be prosecuted.
Well, of course, sure. But you also just don't care anymore. Everything has just become you've become so complacent with this lifestyle of social media and things.
Or numbed.
I'm telling you. Yes, you're so numb to it. When I watch videos of people doing stupid things for likes, that's why I'm not surprised that this is happening. I mean, I watched a video the other day of a guy who was like, all right, check this out. I'm going to hang over the side of this building and then his buddy's like, oh, I mean, the guy, this is the kind of stupidity we see in the world. Why? Because they want to become famous. They think they're all going to become millionaires by getting likes on YouTube, on X, on Facebook.
I know all that's true.
Stupidity, man.
I've seen kids light themselves on fire.
Yeah.
On social media.
Tide Pods.
Yeah.
We have someone who is in prison currently because he decided what would be a really great idea was to go up in a plane, act like the plane was having a malfunction, and to hop on out of it with his GoPro. And I was like, dude, you just put a perfectly good plane and crashed it for likes, for video.
Yeah.
Idiot. Okay, prison.
Idiot. Yeah, idiot. Complete idiot. I think there's something very different about those moments if your car is submerged.
Yeah, I get it.
I can't. For the life of me, I could never figure out how anybody would that would even enter someone's mind. The biggest fear that people have. I mean, being eaten by a shark and drowning.
I mean,
those are always. If you ask people what's the worst way to die, those two are always coming up.
This shark is totally eating my leg right now. I don't know. Hit him in the phone. Hit him with the phone in the nose. Oh my God. Yeah, these people are so dumb. This is our education. We don't learn anything in school anymore. We're getting dumber and dumber every year. Look at the test scores. Look what we've done to our kids. Look at this Department of Education. I am not surprised, and I will tell you, the movie Idiocracy, I see it coming. I see it coming. A world full of just dumbasses, because that's what I see every single day. And I pray that our kids come out like the 3 of our kids. I hope, and I know that a lot of our listeners raise their kids, their grandkids in the same regard. But boy, it is scary to see. I mean, AOC, you hear her talk every day.
Holy Lord.
Come on.
Smoking hot.
So dumb.
Dumb as a bag of hammers.
I just love that no matter what that comes out of her mouth, you're just always like, okay, but it starts with you being smoking hot.
It's the truth, man. I wish it weren't.
She got horse teeth.
I don't care.
She gets uglier and uglier to me every day.
He just doesn't care.
It doesn't
he just
matter
looks
to me
at
at all.
her and he's just like, all right.
How you doing?
I mean, legitimately, there are people where I'm like, I don't care about your politics.
Yeah. Okay, well, tell me who it is then, because mine's clearly AOC. Who is it?
I'm just saying, like, for instance, whenever Scarlett Johansson talks about saving cats or dogs or what, I'm like, okay, thanks, that's really nice. When she starts talking about stuff that's going on in Hollywood and the changes that have to be made and the political climate, I'm like, tell me about them cats and dogs again.
Yeah.
You know?
And smile.
I'll tell you this, though, and I don't want to ruin it for you, Tug, but AOC, constant hot dog breath. All day, every day.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Some things you just got to endure.
It's the woman for me.
Maybe Joe can have her then. I'm happily married. I'm not going anywhere.
Listen, there are people that have a large amount of back hair, and you know what? Ladies just kind of put up with it. There are people that have a certain smell, certain things they do. Listen, I'm a bad snorer. My wife puts up with this.
Yeah.
There's some trade-offs here.
I get a lot of gas.
Especially after you've eaten hot dogs, right?
I apologize more, and I blame it on the dogs most of the time.
That's just a dude thing to do.
I'm like, DOG.
We all do that.
What are you doing?
We all do that, no doubt. I dismiss anything the UN ever says, and Rhino, this includes their demand for Israel and the ceasefire. The UN is a waste of time. When we drive over to Charleston, we take this little back road that connects us between Interstate 20 and I-26. So we just kind of cut through a bunch of small towns. There's a big sign about right between Wagoner and North South Carolina or Perry South, right in there. And it says, it's a big old sign. And it's just in front of somebody's house. And it says, get us, and it says US, U.S, get us out of the UN.
Yep.
And God bless them.
God bless them. And this is the United Nations Security Council telling Israel, hey, we're the Security Council. You need a ceasefire. Hey, UN Security Council, you have aid workers that are part of this and the terrorist organization. Do you think Israel's going to take you serious at all? I don't care about this ceasefire. I'm all behind Netanyahu at this point. And the more that the U.S. and President Biden and all these idiots that run this country right now call for ceasefires, the more I say, Netanyahu, keep ignoring them. You're the strong one. You're the one who knows what's happening. I am so tired of the excuses for these terrorists, because that's what they are. They aren't Palestinian anymore. I don't believe it. You've had more warnings than anyone else. We're talking about the city of Rafah. How long has it been since they've been saying, hey, Israel's coming into Rafah, get out. We have 1.3 million. People. Where are all the Muslim countries? Where are all the countries that are so concerned about this? All the United Nations security countries saying, hey, you know what? Bring those 1.3 million people to me. You know why they don't? Because they know exactly who they are. I am so sick of it. I'm so happy that, you know what? Now, all of a sudden, Netanyahu's like, I don't care about the U.S., don't care about any of you anymore. We'll be on our own. Go away.
So I say this very succinctly, very clearly, because this is this epiphany that kind of hit me, because the amount of people that are calling for a ceasefire and the amount of people, including Joe Biden, who says, well, the Israelis have gone too far. If you have witnessed the horribleness, the barbarism of October 7th, for that community, for those people, is there such a thing as too far?
No.
Because for most of us, we would all say, well, genocide, that's too far. Like, who commits genocide? That's terrible. If you're talking about the security of your country, is there a too far?
I don't think so.
And that's the mentality that I think the rest of the world can't get their head around, that when we say, oh my God, look what the Israeli, like Alex Jones, as much as Alex Jones is out there, and he's like, I can't back the Israelis for doing this. I was like, I can't either, but I understand.
Yeah.
And what they're going to do is, if you look at it and you see these teenagers that get shot down, and oh my God, that's terrible. I go, you know what? That's one less person they're fighting in 10 years, and that's the way they're looking at it. And it's wrong, and it's gross, and it's not the way that we should be operating, but it's the way they're operating, and they have the proof as to why they need to, because every several years they have to take on the same group of people, and if they say, hey, we're just wiping you off the map, they're wiping them off the map.
And they're doing it for everyone. They're doing it for everyone, not just not just them. They're doing it for this is a big topic for me. Okay, never mind. Sorry.
8 o'clock hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier experts. 770-GET-HEAT or centralheat.com. We'll knock out the headlines when we come back. This is the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3.
Atlanta radio legends collide on Extra 106.3. The legend Neil Bortz is live every week with Atlanta legend The Kimmer. Because when you get these two guys together, who knows where we'll end up?
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
The Kimmer is live on your drive home every weekday afternoon from 3 to 6. And now Neil Bortz joins this show every week. And if you miss it, catch up anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. We handle bonds throughout Metro Atlanta, including from our newest offices in Cherokee County and Clayton County. In most cases, we can have you or your loved one out of jail in a matter of hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
Buying a new car is about way more than just a car. You want to love it and everything that comes with it. And at Subaru of Gwinnett, we get that. You want to love the website. Easy to browse, easy to shop, and an unrivaled selection so you can find the model that suits you. Like the 2024 Subaru Outback, Crosstrek, or Ascent. All offering impressive gas mileage, standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, and the tools to explore the things you love. You want to love the people. And know that every time you stop by the dealership on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth, they'll be there for you, ready to help in any way possible. And you want to love the service. We'll check that box for you also, because during the spring sales event, there's a lot to love. So stop in during the Subaru A Lot to Love event, and you'll find just that, a lot to love. Start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com and find the ride that best suits you, because love is what makes a Subaru a Subaru. Subaru of Gwinnett, Satellite Boulevard in Duluth, and online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
Neil Borch here. Maybe you've already taken the steps to improve your health, maybe save your life. You're using a CPAP for your sleep apnea. I've been using one for well over 20 years. So right now, I'm here to tell you about a source for CPAPs and CPAP supplies here in the Atlanta area. CPAPs, etc. They're in Alpharetta. They have whatever you need. Roddy and Sharon are your CPAP experts, and they'll ship nationwide. More information, CPAPs.com.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GIFT for an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill up. That's promo code GIFT.
Hey sandwich lovers, today's your lucky day. There's a whole new way to roll for lunch or dinner delight with Nucky's Hoagies in the Roswell Corners Shopping Center. Now open. Nucky's Hoagies in Roswell is family owned and operated by the Sub-Sisters, Stacy and Shannon, whose love language is food and Nucky's Hoagies, their passion. When you bite into a Nucky's Hoagie, you'll taste the difference. The softest hoagie rolls ever, along with hunger-quenching sandwich combinations. Make Nucky's Hoagies in Roswell on Woodstock Road your new favorite spot for lunch or dinner.
Fox on Tech.
Artificial intelligence is taking on yet another new role to be your personal travel agent. Back in the day, you couldn't buy your own airline tickets. You went to an agent who had their own office. You told them about what kind of vacation you wanted to take, or business trip for that matter, and they put it all together. Google is now rolling out a new feature to its search generative experience that allows you to ask Google to put together a travel itinerary just as you would have with a real-life agent. You can tell it where you want to go, for how long, and what types of activities or dining you wish to experience, and it will present you with options. It will also remember your parameters for future use, such as targeted advertising. So far, the feature is available to users enrolled in Google's Search Labs trial programs, but it will likely in the future be available to all Google users. With Fox on Tech, I'm Eben Brown, Fox News.
Your voice, your vote. And this year it matters more than ever. So for the unbiased election coverage that affects your family and your community, trust the voices that matter when it matters the most. Xtra 106.3 and the Xtra app.
Tug Rhino and Los on the Morning Extra. We're on the air until 10. Then the Glenn Beck program. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton and a local afternoon show. With the camera, Pete and Flounder. 3 until 6. The best way to listen is always on the Xtra 106.3 app. Download that free for Apple and Android, and you can listen live and on demand. So get it. Wherever you download your apps, it is so simple, and it's free.
Don't we have to come up with some Kimmer fun for tomorrow?
I think it would be a good idea.
Like, it doesn't have to always be a bear trap. Maybe we do something nice for them.
What, like, do you have ideas that you've thought about?
Like, let's cook spam in here and leave it for them.
You see, I think that's
I love this idea.
It's a great idea.
Something like that. A friendly gesture.
Does Kimmer like spam? I think that's. I love spam. I love fried spam. Yeah. I grew up on fried spam. I love it.
But I say we cook some fish up for them.
Yeah, something nice.
I bring that air fryer in.
Little garnish.
Yeah,
fish.
Make it look real pretty.
That's not nice. That's not being nice to the man.
What?
That's not good.
Come on, it's like a good fish.
And the stench.
Old people love health, and it's soft because his teeth probably can't hold up.
Listen, salmon is a show of love.
Yeah.
I don't know that this is a small room. If you
if I let
some sort of
Pete
fish,
a salmon,
he would
garnished beautifully.
The only problem is, you're right.
The odor. It's
Remember
it's
when
like somebody microwaving.
Remember when we made the breakfast and we all brought in a little thing and I cooked the potatoes and they were here for like a week.
Good,
That smell.
That's right. Lowe's, you had to bring the air purifier.
I brought the air purifier in just because again, small room.
So my point is,
it catches everything.
Yeah, my point is we need to prepare and make sure that we have the air filter here in the morning.
We need some venting.
But yeah, let's make sure that we take care of Kimmer, feed him right. Fish is good.
How long does fish? I mean,
Hot
can
dogs.
you just leave fish out on the table? I mean, we're just gonna leave it for him on the table like last supper.
Yeah, it's already cooked. It's fine.
If you put a slab of bread on the bottom and the top, from what I understand, because Kimmer eats mystery sandwiches, he'll eat that thing even with the head on it.
Yeah, we can just cook it in here and then put it in the fridge for him and say, hey, don't make sure you reheat this in the microwave after.
How about we just buy him a sub sandwich from Nucky's or something?
That doesn't say a lot.
He's getting one of those for free tomorrow.
He's getting
They're bringing them today, as a matter of
That's
fact.
free. Yes, we're getting them for free.
Well, I'm
today.
sure they'll bring extras.
I just saw Mike going over it. He's like, I'm going to get some subs.
Nice.
I'm like, let's go, Nuckies.
I love it.
I'm ready for some Nuckies.
And they will be out. As a matter of fact, they're going to be out on Friday from 3 until 6 doing the entire Kimmer show at Nucky's Hoagies.
Shirtless?
I think so.
Okay.
That's what I was told.
Mark it down.
Yes, put that on the list. Absolutely. Nucky's Hoagies, 1133 Woodstock Road there in Roswell. Go in there. They'll have an extra special all day long. It's just that location, by the way, where Kimmer's broadcasting. You buy any hoagie, you get a second cold hoagie free. So that's Kimmer 3 until 6.
Yeah, make sure you go out there too. It's his birthday, so he really wants this to be special. He wants people to come out with horns and
cakes.
He loves the
cakes.
attention.
Bring him food. He loves the attention for his
Don't
birthday.
pop a balloon near him though.
He celebrates. No, don't. Yeah. 16 people shot at Nuckies.
That's right, Rhino.
It's entirely possible to see the real life Yosemite Sam.
Now the good thing is he could pull off the whole he's too old to withstand trial and pull the Biden defense on that. Cognitively, I'm just not there. I heard a sound.
Yeah, he would
I'm a
not
veteran.
I don't think he'd be involved for that one. I don't believe he was going to be able to use that as an excuse.
But make sure that you bring him all sorts of gifts, and he loves noise, all sorts of noise for his birthday.
Small children.
Oh yes,
Running
absolutely.
around.
He's going to grow a big red mustache and have a big old hat.
Yes, that's right.
He loves birthday pictures, so especially with men, he loves when a man just comes up, puts their arm around
crowd
him
his space.
Yeah,
Get
make sure you crowd
close.
his space.
All this is true.
Yeah.
So I hear.
Hand Pete the phone and be like, hey, I don't know who you are, but can you take the picture?
Just insult the man. I think that's taking it too far. Maybe.
Why does Pete got to catch that one?
I know, right?
He's just a good dude trying to make sure that everything that man.
Because I feel bad that we only pick up on the old man.
No, because
not the normal guy.
Pete has been trying to keep the train on the tracks for years,
and it's a challenge.
That's what it is like trying to herd a cat or 10 cats. That's his job on a daily basis. Herd the 10 cats.
So much so that you have to have Flounder in there too. I mean, because it takes 2 people to keep Kimmer on the rails.
Well, it's defibrillator.
That's right. Somebody's got to know how to use it.
Flounder's always ready.
That's right. I know exactly where it is. I've timed myself getting it.
Unfortunately, Flounder, I don't think is able to get out there tomorrow to Nuckies.
Yeah, because he'll be here. But he'll be trying to keep it.
I'm ready to save you, Kimmer, again.
Yeah.
Oh, here's dead air because he's running out the door.
He's running out the door to go get the defibrillator
and drive it to Nuckies.
He choked on a cherry tomato.
Oh, that'd be the worst. Nobody wants that to happen.
Don't go yet, Kimmer. I'm coming.
Pete's over there filming it like the person's drowning in the car. Filming himself sinking to the
This
bottom
will be
of the river.
great for the show.
He's like 3 to 6.
Yeah.
The Pete show.
Pete show. Finally, my due.
It's here.
I've been given my due, finally. No, that's exactly right. Trump making $4 billion. It's kind of like Pete getting back at Kimmer eventually. He'll have his opportunity.
He'll have blood on his hands.
That's right, one day. Trump making $4 billion has really set off leftists, especially those late night clowns.
Colbert has, let's face it, he's made the last 4 or 5 years, better part of 8 years based off of going after Donald Trump. And it worked during his presidency. That was one of the places that the audience would go to just hear the jokes. But something changed. Something turned kind of mean and diabolical, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's one thing when you're just having fun and making fun of presidents, because they all should be fair game.
No,
they should all be fair game. But it turned into almost a demented view, and we talked about that TDS. Even in comedy, like, how do you do comedy when you're deranged when it comes to a particular person, a particular president? I want you to take a listen to this audio. This is Colbert. He's doing his monologue, and it's almost like something flips in him, where it's no longer funny. It's more of, can y'all believe this is happening? This person deserves horrible things to happen to them. Take a listen to Colbert talking about suddenly Donald Trump being $4 billion richer.
Oh, folks, I consider myself a deep spiritual thinker. I frequently ponder the age-old questions like, why do bad things happen to good people? And why do good things ever happen to Donald Trump? Yesterday, the Trump Media and Technology Group, or HPV, which owns Truth Social, completed a deal to go public. According to Bloomberg News, that deal increased Trump's net worth by more than $4 billion, making him one of the world's 500 richest people. He made over $4 billion misspelling things on the toilet. My God, I hope that article is misinformated.
It's almost like it just turns into like declaring, like, did he really beat us?
Yeah.
And the audience is sitting there laughing and having fun with it. And Colbert's face is almost in this emotional state of, did he really? Like, this guy got up in the morning, rants and raves on the toilet, made $4 billion, and he beat us.
And I'm mad as hell about it.
And you did it to him. You did it to him,
That's right.
Stephen Colbert. You did it to him. The left, you guys all handed him $4 billion. You tried to attack him to make him broke, and because of it, because of your over fear, like you're just, I'm going to get all his money. I'm going to take it all. Because of that, he had to liquidate his company, and he made $4 billion. It's a great joke on you, and I love it.
Think about how silly it is that I've brought it up before. You leave him alone, and then watch what happens, because he's his own worst enemy when it comes to social media and everything else. But you took a billionaire and told him, you can no longer be on Twitter. So he's like, okay, that's fine. I'll make my own. And then he's selling it for a market cap of $15 billion that made him $4 billion. And now he's suddenly wealthier than everyone, including Mark Cuban and all the rest of his biggest critics and George Soros.
Just the meltdown.
If you just left him on Twitter, just leave him alone.
But you can't, because emotion doesn't allow you. People who react emotionally usually react incorrectly, and they've done.
And they went after him. You encouraged a billionaire to create his own way to reach the people.
And now
and he sold it
to bite you in the butt.
And just to hear Colbert and the look on his face of, like, did he really just... Remember, a week ago, it was, hey, $450 billion and he's broke. Next week, $4 billion richer.
They couldn't wait to celebrate, Rhino. They're like, look at here. He's going to be broke. We're going to take all of his money. We're taking Trump Tower. We're taking it all. Oh, wait. No, we're not.
A week later. A week later. Rhino, this isn't 6 months later.
No, it's
a week later.
It's so fun to watch it all implode on them, because it continues to do that way. But Letitia James, $250 million. That's what we're coming for. Wait, how much does he have? Because he said it, $400 million. And then she goes, okay, well, we got to get up to that.
That's what we're going for.
Yeah. And then they go, even though we can't even come up with a real reason for it, because I'll tell you right now, Alina Habba's right. Yesterday, what she said, 100% right. $175 million, $176 million, still too much. Can't wait till it's zero. Guess what, Letitia? I am waiting for you to cry and for you to get on social media and tell everybody how you failed.
Imagine if he, I fully expect him, that's going to be zero. He's getting that money back. Imagine when he sues the state and the state's got to come out of pocket for like $20 million.
I can't wait. Bankrupt that state.
I
$20 million.
I hadn't really even thought about it.
They better sign him for $200, $300 million.
What he's going to do.
I've not even thought about that much.
And he will win.
Yes, he will. Of course he will.
Winners win, man. I tell you, it's as much as they get upset about it, that's what happens.
Trust in the media continues to unravel after a Bortz report and a Fox News update on Xtra 106.3.
It's time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Xtra 106.3.
Every once in a while, I like to throw out a commentary like this. Frankly, it makes some people mad. But look, we're all going to pay the tab for Joe Biden pardoning all these student loans. So I thought you might like to hear some of the nonsense that these deadbeat students come up with, especially in their doctoral dissertations. So here are a few excerpts from these brilliant graduate students who don't want to pay back student loans. Quoting now, this article relishes in distinctness. It revels in hidden spaces and in voices crying to be heard. It draws attention to what is not realized, and in the realizing celebrates the moving on into the not yet known and the politics of movement. Using a Deleuzian logic of sense and sensing immersion in Bachelard's politics of space, the article plays with opacity, fragility, and imperceptibility as mistiness, flavor, perfume, tone, and mood populate its word plays and topics of concern. The article listens to and creates narratives that live in moments as events. The article actively desires to talk, listen, and hesitate in the excitement of dreams and un/dis/re/covery. By tentatively working with and in the post-human, the article toils in the indistinctness of those always opening and closing crevices, fissures, and interstices that disappear in the slow-moving glacial heaves, flows, and overflows of discourse and materiality, unquote. Does that mean anything to you? What in the world are we getting for our money? Neil Bortz, Extra 1063.
It's a mad world out there, but one thing is certain, everyone is trying to market something. So tune in every Saturday at 3 p.m. to the Marketing Madmen, who, along with a variety of industry expert guests, can help you make sense of it all. Whether you own a business and want tips to scale, or are a fan of the finer things in life and want to know how restaurants, golf courses, and wine companies try to sell you stuff, the Marketing Madmen is your ultimate destination for all things marketing. Tune in right here on Extra 1063 every Saturday at 3 p.m. or search online for more content. Join the madness with the Marketing Madmen.
Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watch Company, where quality and value make the difference. Locally owned and located in Sandy Springs, offering you the finest selection of unique diamonds, sapphires, rubies, and emerald jewelry, as well as other fine gemstones. Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches has been servicing Rolex watches for over 30 years, and their Rolex-trained watchmaker will service your watch in their state-of-the-art Rolex service center in their store. Lee Brandt uses only genuine Rolex parts, and their estimates are free. Drop by Lee Brandt in the Trader Joe's Shopping Center in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com.
Hey, it's the Kimmer. Look out. The Kimmer Show is live every afternoon from 3 to 6, just like the Kimmer.
I have a question for you. Yeah. Should I be concerned, what's a bank good for? Numbers.
Numbers, yeah.
Numbers, money's numbers,
Yeah,
right?
right.
So I go into my bank today, and according to their old desk calendar, it's still Monday, March 6th. So I'm a little worried about their ability to...
Was there anybody in the bank at all?
Yeah, there's people there. They're nice and friendly people. It's right down the street here.
Well, they probably had to fire their calendar guy.
Calendar guy's been laid off?
Well, yeah.
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 1063 and the Extra app. WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. The 9 a.m. hour is presented by Southern Exteriors. Quality and precision you can rely on.
The road to the White House goes through New York today. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Biden and former President Trump will both be here. Fox's Peter Ducey reports the president will hold a big bucks fundraiser with ex-presidents Clinton and Obama.
The campaign is already billing this as the most successful fundraiser in American political history. $25 million is going to be coming in. And it's going to be a good test of the soundproofing inside Radio City because a huge anti-Israel Free Gaza protest called Flood Manhattan for Gaza is being organized right outside.
They are angry over Biden's support for Israel in that war. Former President Trump will attend the wake of a New York City police officer shot and killed Monday at a Queens traffic stop. A Trump lawyer will go to court in Georgia this morning trying to get the election interference criminal case dismissed.
He's going to be arguing that the First Amendment should prohibit this prosecution.
Ashley Merchant is an attorney for a Trump co-defendant. She will again try to get DA Fani Willis removed from the case over a romantic relationship with the special prosecutor she hired. A judge's ruling ruling prompted Nathan Wade to resign. Sentencing is supposed to start this hour for Sam Bankman-Fried, who was convicted in federal court in New York of fraud over the collapse of his cryptocurrency exchange.
Prosecutors are asking for as much as 50 years in prison. His defense attorneys are asking for 5.5 to 6.5 years. He took customer funds from his crypto exchange FTX to help manage the funds of his trading firm. Customers lost roughly $10 billion. Restitution is expected to be part of his sentencing.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal that after 2 bodies were recovered from the wreckage of the Baltimore Bridge collapse, there will be no search today for the other 4 missing and presumed dead, citing dangerous conditions. Meanwhile, there is worry about 56 containers of hazardous material on the ship that hit the bridge and brought it down.
Some of the hazmat containers were breached.
And National Transportation Safety Board Chair Jennifer Homendy says there is a sheen in the river. America's listening to Fox News.
Pure Talk believes in American values and that free should mean exactly that. Free. Switch to Pure Talk today and get a free Samsung 5G smartphone. Qualifying plans start at just $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, 15 gigs of data, and mobile hotspot. Just go to puretalk.com/puretalk and claim your eligibility for your free brand new Samsung 5G smartphone. Again, go to puretalk.com/puretalk to switch to Pure Talk today.
Hey, it's Jesse Kelly. Are you still on the fence about owning gold? It's time to pull the trigger with the Oxford Gold Group and buy gold and silver. Nobody can predict the future, but we can't put our head in the sand either. The Oxford Gold Group are the pros. They make owning gold and silver simple and easy to understand. Call Oxford Gold Group right now and you may qualify for up to $10,000 in free precious metals. Call 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD.
Wake up with the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3 Atlanta.
I assume y'all want me to tell you this. It takes all I have in me to report it, but I feel like it's newsworthy and I feel like y'all will want to know about it. Morning Extra on Extra 106.3, 9 o'clock hours brought to you by Southern Exteriors, your your home exterior solution. They're based down in Jackson, Georgia, service all of Metro Atlanta. And you can reach out to them at southernexteriors.co. Don't make the mistake of putting .com because that's not the address, southernexteriors.co. What I have stumbled upon on Instagram is Britney Spears. She's naked again on Instagram.
It's happened?
It's happened again. I know.
Thank God. It's like every other week. Now I have to go to my phone. Just in the interest of journalism.
I need to rejoin Instagram, apparently.
You closed your Instagram?
Yeah. I've never posted to it.
I just don't. I'm sure it's out there. I don't really touch it.
I don't really do much with mine.
But now that I know that Britney's getting naked on there all the time, I guess I need to pay more attention to it.
I have to observe my child.
Well, hang on. What now?
I watch what my child posts.
Oh, got it. Okay, yeah.
To make sure what she's putting out there is not too. And again, it's all of her stuff is school, volleyball, or cooking.
Yeah.
And as long as she stays in those 3, we're totally fine. I've never posted to Instagram. I just follow her so I can see what she's doing.
Which makes perfect sense, and I get it. Yeah. This particular photograph of Britney, I called her Nikki for some reason. She is completely NE by God ID. So just so you're aware.
Yeah, baby, yeah. That's legal?
I guess so. Now, this particular picture, they have some strategic emojis.
Oh.
Yeah, but
I don't want that.
Well, I mean,
I want the real action.
This woman has lost her ever-loving mind. She is crazier and crazier by the day. It's not changing. It's not getting better. She has absolutely lost it. And you know, a lot of that has to be tied to trauma when she was much younger. It has to be.
Oh, God, yeah.
The trauma there must be alarming. And the more we hear about the underbelly of Hollywood, because it's been in the focus and in conversations this week so much, that you can only imagine the crap that she had to go through, the crap that she had to put up with. Rhino, or maybe it was Lowe's. One of y'all brought up the 2 Coreys, Corey Payne, Corey Feldman, and all the stuff that they talked about, and both of them have been, they were unstable.
They both brought up that they were raped as young child actors in Hollywood, and you think about with Britney started with Mouseketeers with Disney, and you wonder if it was ever as brutal as the stuff that's coming out about Nickelodeon.
Yeah, holy cow.
Isn't it amazing how these pedophiles always find their way into working around kids?
I mean, that's the goal, right?
Weird.
I mean, it's the plan, and yet if you point it out, nowadays you're the one that is called names. It's not, like they're trying to soften the whole people trying to access children, and if you point it out, then it's you're the person that's at fault. You're the problem, and that is just unbelievable for me. You know,
I just turned safe search off, by the way. I found the pictures.
What's safe search?
So on my
Instagram?
on Google or DuckDuckGo.
I got
it. You have the strict search, like no nudity, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I just turned it off and found what I needed to see.
Did y'all see? There's another thing.
I'm so offended
in the
by
interest
this.
of journalism.
Journalism
you have to do some
only.
things that you wouldn't
I had to
otherwise
do
do.
this.
Like go find Britney
gosh,
Spears
this is horrible.
But it's the other day. I think I sent it to y'all. Somebody tipped me off. My buddy Eric Diaz, who lives up in New York City, he was like, "Hey man, did you know that like they're trying to limit what you see politically, and you have to go in your Instagram settings to change it to allow political content to come through?" And on the surface, I guess you could make the argument they're trying to limit, the angry stuff that, or is it, hey man, we're again going to censor conservatives. And this is our route to doing it, and we're going to give ourselves the out. And it was that the thing became so big that Clay and Buck even picked it up. They were like, here's how you go and fix it. And it's just, again, another one of those opportunities for social media companies to circumvent your opinion, circumvent the things that you find valuable, circumvent the things that you believe, and then to say, you know what, you don't really matter. We don't really care about what you think. And we're going to put it out there and make it so clear that we don't care that we're going to censor you, and you have no recourse because you agreed to the terms and conditions. And that leads you to trust in the media continuing to unravel. No surprise. Why would you? We talked about it earlier with, and Lowe's, you brought it up, that just the 91 charges against Trump. When they talk about more charges and more charges and more charges, people are just almost numb to it. They don't pay attention to it anymore because they know, first, it's flimsy. Even if they hate Trump, you can't help but know it's flimsy. And they don't believe what is being said anymore. And it doesn't matter what outlet it is, social media or traditional media.
We fall victims to this as well. When we got up Monday morning and we show up to work and you have a bridge fall down, we're all like, whoa, okay, that's pretty serious craziness, and that's something that we typically don't see, typically we don't deal with. The media has gotten to this point where it's always redundant, the same sort of stuff. So when something different happens, they go wild, they go crazy about it. And what is their thing that they go back to? Trump gets ratings, so lead with Trump. Whatever it is, lead with Trump. And so, a lot of times when it comes to us, why do we do well when it comes to ratings? Because we point out, here are the things that are going on, and oftentimes it's pointing out, here's how Trump's being railroaded. Here's what's going on with your governor. Here's what's going on with DeSantis. Here's what's going on with MTG. These are the people that we talk about, and the media basically does the exact opposite for their own viewership.
Like it or not, that's exactly right. And here's the other thing, is that people want their opinion validated.
Always.
They don't care what's being reported as long as it's what they agree with. And I think, at least I feel like we try to do a pretty good job. I mean, somebody might argue it, I suppose. We try to do a pretty good job of saying Trump's not perfect. Trump, you may say you don't like him at all, but you can't argue with his policies because they've been proven to work, like him or not. And there's all kinds of things that we bring up about Trump that we don't like. All the time. It's not anything new. Yet, like my Aunt Peg, she's going to go find CNN. She's going to go find the social media channel that tells her exactly what she wants.
Plug it into my veins.
To hear. That's exactly right. Like Kimmer, he wants the Nucky's Hoagies plugged right into his veins.
Birthday gifts, birthday surprises.
Tomorrow when he's out at Nucky's.
Sneak up, give him a little.
That's right. Pop a balloon near him. He's excited about all that. No, but really.
But seriously, this is just the media, what it is today. This is what we have to get used to, is that when these kids are going to school, they're going to school on an indoctrination program, and that they're supposed to bring out and indoctrinate the next. We talked about it earlier. There is no more journalists left, really. I mean, they're probably few and far between. They happen to probably be on the conservative side, but even some of them, Like, we're opinionists. I don't consider myself a journalist at all.
No, not at all.
What I'm doing is talking about the stories that we see with my friends here, and we're going to continue to talking about the things that we see and call it out on both sides. And I think we're more fair than most of these people. When you look at Joe Scarborough, he's like, yeah, I'm no longer a Republican. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding.
As if there was any question.
Right. There's no question whatsoever that who you are. You have been so... And it's the derangement behind the way they report things. The fact that we can see TDS in almost every left-wing media outlet is almost scary to me, because they have pushed aside all the facts. They make up things. They go along with Russian collusion and all the other Russia, all the hoax stuff. And there's no laptop. They've played this game, and they've never had to come out and go, you know what? Maybe we should really look at being more of a journalist than rather this opinion piece or pushing the agenda of the communist.
Well, I wonder if that's ever going to catch fire. Because, CNN made their bones on the fact that when we had 24-hour news, and especially with with Operation Desert Storm and the war in Iraq, that put them on the map. That went from like, okay, you can always check them out here too. That was the news organization you went to. And everything slowly but surely has moved more into opinion. There's going to be somebody who comes along and decides, yeah, there's going to be a place for opinion, but how do we also deliver factual, good information? That's going to be the change-up. Somebody's going to do it at some point.
But will it work?
But will there be an audience for
it? And I don't expect there will. Just somebody just giving you the straight news. Here's what happened. You make your own opinion. I don't think there's a place. I mean, I think people ideally, when they hear, is that available? They will say, yeah, of course, that's what I want. That's all I ever asked for. And then they'll watch it a couple times and be like, well, this is boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I believe. I mean, I'm guilty of it too. I'm not saying I'm not. I'm completely guilty of it too. Truly, I want to be entertained. That is what we all want. At the end of the day, we want to be entertained. It doesn't matter if it makes you mad. It doesn't matter if it makes you happy. It doesn't matter. Whatever emotion that it brings out in you, we want to be entertained. And if the news delivery is not entertaining, you're not going to watch it. Media will cover all candidates fairly. When people were asked that, 31% were confident the media would do so. Those are the ratings.
That's scary.
Yeah,
only 30% think that their news is fair. Think about how weird. 70% don't believe in the news.
That's right.
That's a big problem.
69 total. But that's the thing, is that those are about the same numbers that believe in Joe Biden.
Sure.
Like, I mean, if you lay it in there, those are the people that still believe the news, like Maya Peg, and then those are the people that still think Joe Biden's doing a good job.
There was
also like Maya Peg.
I put it on our show notes. I never knew we were going to get to it, and now it finally has happened. There was a poll that was asking Democrats, Republicans, Independents about certain aspects of their life, and one of the important things that jumped out, and I said they'll never get beyond it. 41% of Democrats don't believe we're out of a pandemic.
Oh, I know.
So when you bring up like these are the people, I'm like,
yeah, they exist.
41% of them.
I mean, those are the people that you still see wearing masks.
You saw it in Atlanta yesterday with all the crazy terrorists that were down there with their signs about Cop City, wearing masks outside. These are the ones that tell you they drive in their cars. It has become an indoctrination to the point where these people have become literally sheep. We used to use it as a joke, just saying you're following blindly, but really we see it more now than ever. There is no hope for our youth unless we step in, and luckily, you have a college now like Hillsdale that you can go, hey, you know what, get away and go learn about the Constitution, learn about this. Now we have to really pay attention to what our kids are learning, because I think they're becoming dumber and dumber and dumber every time.
Well, the news is part of this.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's where, how do I create something where there's enough information on both ends of things? And does that work? And you're right, it comes back to just entertainment. I think about how when my parents turn on the news, they're there to be like informed people. At no point do they ever go, wow, I'm being fed a particular message, a particular brand based on what the corporate media and what the administration wants me to know.
Yeah, I had a friend that's very liberal saying, I can't believe that. And this was when Putin was on with Tucker Carlson. Like, I can't believe that people in Russia sit and listen to the news and listen to that propaganda and blah, blah, blah. And I said, how's the economy? Under Biden, it's great. And I just laughed at him like, You can't believe that someone listens to a bunch of propaganda and then spouts out the same thing.
Mirror.
Look at that. Yeah, it's so silly. You're doing the same exact thing as they're doing in Russia, in Ukraine, in China. The stuff you complain about, this is what your party's doing to you. And I sit back and I get to laugh at all of you.
Let me turn the mirror around on you.
Yeah.
Let me just let you see.
I can't believe they believe these lies.
Yeah, let me show you exactly what you can't believe, and you'll be looking right at yourself. A news story that might garner my attention, however, is John Fetterman. I for the life of me, cannot figure out what is going on with John Fetterman. He is a guy that obviously was very ill. He still got elected. It was weird that he got elected, how he got elected. All that's strange to me. And yet he goes to the VA hospital, which I've never seen a turnaround like this out of the VA in my life. And I know lots of people have been to the VA.
Mm-hmm.
This dude comes out of the VA, and all of a sudden, common sense is like his middle name.
It's very strange, and I went back to start looking in Pennsylvania when Fetterman was running against Dr. Oz. And I started looking back to where he was saying, I'm not a progressive. Stop labeling me as a progressive. And I never believed him. None of us ever really believed him.
Because everything he said was progressive.
Because everything he said was progressive. But he continues down that path, and he was asked in an interview with Fox News, which I thought was a really great interview. I thought it was, something that was really fair and balanced, and it was really good to see because they gave him the opportunity to actually speak. And I loved it, and I love every minute of it. And Chad Pergram's the one who did the interview with him. This man is common sense. I mean, he's gotten to the point where now we already know about some of the things. Obviously, getting on the building against the left wing that sits there and says, we love Hamas, we love terrorists, and he holds up an Israeli flag. We know that he talked about Bob Menendez and was like, this guy's an animal. Like, he's disgusting. He's a sleazeball, a real sleazeball. Get him out of there. Like, he is not sticking with the party. I think it'll hurt him in the long run because I think they'll turn on him.
Party. Oh, yeah, for sure.
The party's going to turn on him. But you know what? I feel bad because he told me he wasn't a progressive, and it's turning out to be kind of true.
I feel like we have been exposed to several different versions of this man, to 7 Faces of Sybil. For instance, our friend who works over in Philadelphia, John Kincaid, flat out told me like 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, when that campaign started, we talking politics, and he goes, I really kind of like John Fetterman. Kind of resonates with me a little bit.
JK is as conservative as they come.
And his entire point was, well, he's very common man. And then, obviously, the stroke happens and everything else. I think we saw so much of what happened afterwards and went, well, this dude's crazy, and how could you possibly do this? Now, once he gets healthy, suddenly, there's some liberal tendencies and liberal stuff that he gets into, but a lot of it's very common man. So I suddenly get where Kincaid was coming from a year and a half ago before that man ever got ill, before he ever got influenced. And I can see where if you put him up against a Dr. Oz, you think this guy is not, hardcore blue-collar Pennsylvania. I can see where you would go that direction at this point.
I don't know what to make of
him. But he's not fooling me.
Yeah, that's the thing.
He's not fooling. But he's a lot closer to sane than a lot of them.
And I think that's where the jury's still out on me, right?
Yeah.
I've never hated the guy. And there's plenty of things I'm sure that he will say that I completely disagree with, but I do welcome the common sense stuff.
There are some things that obviously I agree with him on HR too. He thinks that the border needs to be secured and shut down. He thinks there's a better way to do legal immigration, that we don't need to have people coming across the border. It's common sense. I agree with him on the fact that you can't support Hamas in this. You can't be pro-Palestinian. This is a problem when you say things that are very anti-Semitic. You can be pro-Palestinian and care about the people, but seriously, you guys are going down the wrong path with this. And of course, like we said, Bob Menendez. The weird part is, do you know that we've sat here and we've looked and we've watched this Democrat Party really just kind of cater to that tyrannical minority, to the point where when a moderate Democrat like John Fetterman all of a sudden does show up, we're like, oh my gosh, this is so
what has
out.
happened?
But for years we had moderate Democrats, and we actually had real discussions, real diplomacy, and the ability to have bipartisan laws put in place instead of the infighting. We're just so used to that progressive movement taking over. Same thing on the right, the alt-right, or whoever you want, or the establishment Republicans, whoever you want to blame. We're so used to them that we're not used to someone going, hey, I actually care about the people in this, and this is common sense.
I actually care about the people, and everybody's face just... goes.
Well, we've gone the other way.
It's such a blank stare. You're like, you care about what now?
Yeah. Well, we've gone the other way. I mean, the Democrats have destroyed the Constitution. That's not what it's about anymore. It's supposed to be, hey, we are in control of the government, not the way the Democrats are doing this, where they're passing laws that put the government in control of your life. We're backwards in this, and hopefully we get more common sense people to come in and help us get this straight.
9 o'clock hours brought to you by Southern Exteriors, southernexteriors.co or 877-9-SOUTHERN, 877-9-SOUTHERN. AOC is incredibly dumb. And it was on display on PBS.
And hot.
And you find it what?
And super hot.
Super hot, don't you?
Can't help it. I wish I didn't. I'll
tell you this.
It's the worst.
She's a Latin woman, man. They are fiery and gorgeous women.
This one happens to be dumb, though. I mean, it's not like you're going to have a conversation with her that makes sense. You're going to talk in circles.
Yeah.
None of it's going to make sense.
Oh, she's so dumb.
She's dumb, but, I mean, hello? Yeah. Anybody in there?
If you had a mute button, she'd be a perfect person.
I love where your head's at. We'll talk about it next. We'll let you hear her in her own words because she will make you just scratch your head and go, how in the world did this woman get elected? It has to be because she's really good looking. Next on Extra 106.3, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Tug Rhino and Los until 10. Beck, Clay, and Buck. Then 3 to 6, local afternoon show with the Kimmer.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Pete, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
White History Month, we have Women's Week, Women's Month, Black History Month. Can we please have a month in the media where we don't see the word trans?
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Man, I am so excited for my camping trip with my son coming up and girlfriend Erin and all the things that we need to get done in the next few days. And there's one place that I need to stop by, and I'm hoping to stop by later this afternoon, and that's True Prep in Marietta on Cobb Parkway. They are more than just your emergency preparedness supply store. I know that that's the one thing that you need them for. And more than ever, I'm going to tell you right now, if you need to prepare with True Prep because they have the pros, the experts right there in store. They're locally owned and operated, but you know what else they have? They have everything you need for camping supplies as well. First aid kits. I'm talking about medical grade first aid kits. So if you're out hiking like we're going to be, or if we're out paddle boarding down the river, these are the things that I need to make sure I have to keep myself safe, my son safe, my girlfriend safe. All those things are so important to me, and they should be important to you. But in case of an emergency, that's where they really come in. Whether it's freeze-dried food, which perfect for camping, but it's also necessary to start stacking away for those times that essentials start to run low or run to the prices that we see now with inflation. You also want to make sure that you have water filtration. Once again, fits in perfect with camping, but you need to make sure that you have it in case of an emergency. You can only last 3 days without a fresh water supply. First aid kits, firearms, firearm accessories, and ammo, all at the lowest prices around. What else could you ask for? One place, one shop, one stop for your emergency preparedness supplies, and that's True Prep in Marietta on Cobb Parkway. Go by. Tell them Rhino sent you. Remember, they're locally owned and operated. Support the people who support your community as well. Or go visit them online right now at trueprep.com. That's TRU prep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow with True Prep.
The 2024 season is just around the corner, and the Braves' home schedule is jam-packed with great matchups and even better promotions. The Braves open at home against the defending NLCS champion Arizona Diamondbacks April 5th through the 7th, followed by the New York Mets April 8th through the 11th. The Braves will honor all of their 2023 award winners in a special pregame ceremony on April 6th, and on April 8th, the Braves will then honor the 50th anniversary of Hank Aaron's record-breaking 715th home run with a special Hank Aaron bobblehead giveaway together with Truist.
There's a new home run champion of all time, and it's Henry Aaron.
And the second half of April continues with another great giveaway featuring Ronald Acuna Jr.'s 2023 Stolen Bases record bobblehead giveaway presented by Xfinity on April 24th. And 2 Blooper Kids giveaways on April 21st and the 28th. Visit Braves.com/promos to get your tickets and check out all of the fun planned this April. Atlanta Braves baseball. We are Braves country.
Jim Niarchos here with exciting news. The All Four Seasons Home Show returns to Atlanta radio this Saturday morning at 9, bringing you advice and tips from some of Georgia's top business owners. Join Dan Watkins and myself when we will be helping you make smarter purchases, save money, and keep from getting ripped off. That's the All Four Seasons Home Show every Saturday morning at 9, right here on Extra 106.3.
Is the tax deadline causing you anxiety? Searching for elusive 1099s and trying to uncover any exemptions? If so, you're not alone. Every year, Georgians find themselves looking backwards to file with the IRS, reporting tax history. But what if you were to flip the script? Not just report your taxes, but actually planning for them. We're Master Plan Retirement Consultants. We're local, with offices in Marietta. We work with folks just like you to create a personalized, tax-efficient strategy designed to last a lifetime, a crucial piece to the holistic retirement plan. Do you have a retirement roadmap? You should. It's never too late. Visit masterplanretire.com. Don't wait any longer. Visit masterplanretire.com.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Did you know one of the best investments you can make? It's in yourself. At My Computer Career, in just a few months, you can start your new career in the high-demand, recession-resistant field of information technology. Isn't it time you invest in you and start a career in networking, cybersecurity, AI, or upskill to boost your current IT career? So get the ROI you deserve at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Start now at mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Hey, Atlanta, it's Mark from the Safe House. And now, the security riddle of the day. What's less secure than a fake safe from a furniture or big box store? Joe Biden's fake border policy, of course. But hey, there is good news. This time next year, Joe Biden will not be president. So drop right at Atlanta Safe House and check out the largest selection of safes in the Southeast. Build a wall around your valuables with a safe from the Safe House. We have certified delivery crews to install your safe. With over 30 years in the safe business, the Safe House is the place to buy safe in Georgia. So go to atlantasafehouse.com.
Intelligent technology that's more intuitive, electrified power wrapped in sporty elegance. Meet the 2024 Mercedes-Benz C300 sedan. The leader of the pack with a sensual interior, the C300 sedan is a driver's delight and paradise for passengers. Experience the 2024 C300 sedan today. Lease one for just $499 per month for 36 months with $44.93 due at signing. Exclusively from RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this vehicle and many other models. Visit today to see how to qualify. Special lease rate available only to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Service through RBM of Atlanta Sandy Springs through April 1st, 2024. Excludes tax, tag, title, and Georgia lemon law fees. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit rbmofatlanta.com or call us at 770-390-0700 for details.
The news and talk I can trust. Extra 106.3.
Tug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3, the app. Best way to listen. Make sure you download it. And that way you can listen live or on demand. We're working on sinister plans behind the scenes here on Extra.
I don't know if it's going to work, but it's worth a try.
It's definitely worth a try.
Of course it is. Because, I mean, if we could create AI voice-generated fake promos for this radio station, that'd be fun. I mean, we have one for Tucker Carlson. It sounds really good.
Yeah, we played earlier this morning.
Absolutely.
Right. So, so we're working on some, it's kind of the premise, at least, that you heard with Drunk Kimmer that got such a reaction and so many laughs.
And we thought, what if, and we'll have to see what AI does. Sometimes AI doesn't work. Right. Yeah, with you two guys, it sounded close enough, even though y'all both sounded like you were lacking a soul.
Yeah,
like that doesn't. It's like it sounded like Rhino, but you're like, that's not Rhino.
Yeah, right.
That's that's the trick of it.
Yeah,
because Kimmer's so he's an individual.
Yeah,
you know, like how does a machine emulate Kimmer? I don't know. I don't think it can. But we'll see.
We're going to give it a good old college effort.
We're going to give it a try.
We're going to give it a try.
I think if we take what it comes out with and then we times it by like 1.5,
you speed up.
It'll probably fit and sound just like him.
I hope so.
Like with Tug, we slow it down.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we have to way down. So I sound dumber.
Yeah, we hit
than I
that
already
sloth
do.
button.
That's right.
Where's that sloth preset?
That's right. How do you make him sound dumber than he already does?
Needed to put it into walk mode.
Slower
and dumber. No, it's good. So that is kind of the plan for tomorrow. So if you enjoy us, just poking the bear just a little bit.
F with Kimmer Fridays. Right here on Extra 106.3.
And he's going to know because he listens to the show. And I appreciate the fact that he listens to the show.
I listen to Kimmer's show. I'm a
Absolutely,
P1.
man.
Yeah, me too.
He was talking about, yesterday, he was talking about a study that he had seen. I want to say it was from Europe, but it was talking about how men, specifically young men, who play video games too much.
Yes.
Are having a little bit of an issue with ED.
I just thought when I heard him go through that, I went, will somebody come over to my house to see how that goes?
Yeah.
Like, I play a lot of video games,
Right.
and I'm the one who's having to tell the wife, don't put on the sweatpants.
I grew up playing, and it worked out well for me. But I did get nervous because, like, my son, he loves to play video games. Now, there's a good balance in his life, so I'm hoping that helps.
Yeah, because he gets outside.
Yeah, he
gets
goes
outside
karate,
and stuff. He's fine.
I think he's talking about the nerds.
The people that never leave their couch. They order food in just to sit on the couch and play more video games.
That exists.
Yeah, of course.
But then again, I mean, because I live in a world of Grand Theft Auto, like we have to take it up a notch in my house. I make my wife punch me in the face first.
Look,
it's a good idea.
However you roll, I like
try
it.
not to punch me in the face.
Acceptable violence is okay violence with me.
That's so weird, but I mean,
Tug's like winking. He's like, we do the same thing too.
Yeah.
I make my wife hit me in the back of the head.
That's right.
Punch
Except
me.
she uses a paddle.
Or a baseball bat.
Baseball bat.
Give me that hell yeah. Hit me with the baseball bat again, then make love to me.
Sweet. Painful, bleeding out the side of my ear. Y'all see this?
Laura is mean.
She's a wild woman. Yeah, definitely. The league.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't even sure it was still going.
No, it's a successful summer venture.
I say we, me and home team, Brandon League from.
You guys starting a team?
No.
Oh.
We just went and saw it. It was last year, year before. I forget when it was. It's been a couple years ago, and it was cool, man. I really thought it was cool.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. They say it's being reported. TMZ's reporting it that the Ice Cube, who owns it, the Big Three, has offered the star of the NCAA women's tournament, Caitlin. What's her last name?
Caitlin Clark.
Clark. Thank you. Yes, I was searching for it. That he's offered her to come play in the Big Three. It's like $5 million deal.
That'll work out really well for her. I hope she takes it.
But she's
going to be a failure. I hate to say it.
It's the truth. She
doesn't go up against men, but this is a publicity stunt at this point. Come up with the girls' team. You know what? I'd love to see a Big Three females. Let these women make money. Biological women get out there, play. She could shoot, but in Big Three, is this really going to translate with really good athletes?
Again, you're talking about playing against 50-year-old men.
Okay.
45, 50-year-old men. Remember
she still shoots from her chest.
But the idea of the Big Three is that you're putting together some nostalgia. You're watching some guys from yesteryear play 3-on-3 basketball.
Yep.
There's plenty of room on the floor. I don't think this is a bad idea. If you're saying
I don't think it's a bad idea.
I think it's a great idea.
$5 million, and she honestly becomes your biggest headline, because there's only so many times I can give me Vince Carter at 50 years old shooting threes.
Yeah,
but what happens when somebody blocks a shot right in her face, or she doesn't get up? I mean, I'm with her.
Worth every penny.
Go get your money. Go get your money. But this really could be damaging to a female sports. And I'll be honest, I don't want a man playing against my girl because he put a wig on. You're bringing a girl into a men's arena. If she gets hurt, I guess it's on her. She's playing up, but
I think it's different though.
I don't know, man.
Men going down to compete against women, I think, is different than a woman that's trying to compete against men, because men are biologically stronger, bigger.
Right.
And
I'd love to see her do well. I'd love to see her be that star.
I got no reason to pull against her.
Boy, I don't know.
I just don't. I'm with you though, Rhino. I don't know that I think it's going to work out all that well. I mean, you got. How tall is she? Do we know? Do you right off the top of your head?
She's 6'1", 6'2".
Oh, is she taller than I thought she was?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think I knew she was that tall.
Yeah.
Okay, well maybe then that does
Is she fast enough to stick with the 3-on-3 in a big court like that?
I think back to what Lowe's said though. These guys are 50. They have slowed down a little bit. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Maybe
a lot of these guys are like Leandro Barbosa. Now Barbosa came in the league almost like 20 years ago. He's had 13. They tell you it's like 13 NBA seasons, and he hasn't played in the league in like 7 years. You're talking about a lot of 40-year-old men.
Sure.
Now, they're going to be bigger. They're going to be faster, more likely going to be stronger. But the appeal is, what happens when a 22-year-old top-of-her-game collegiate athlete is playing against us?
Yeah, no, I think the marketing aspect is brilliant.
For $5 million?
Really smart. And
Brilliant.
It would make sense for her to take the cash.
Take the money, girl. Oh, I'm on her side on this. Take that money. Get in there, play.
How much would she make in the WNBA? Do y'all know? Because I have no idea.
Not a lot, but she'll get a lot of endorsements.
The endorsement
But she would get that either way.
Yeah.
She
Exactly.
get that
Either way.
She can get that either way. Big
Either way.
three or this.
She could play both.
Can she?
Get that $5 million first and then go play.
She can play both.
WNBA.
Okay. Look,
Because if she could compete with the men, which I don't think is going to happen, but she will learn probably more, and her skill set will probably improve playing in that, right? Then go play the WNBA and dominate there and get that money. But I'm all for it. I'm just afraid it's going to be, I think people really start to realize this is the difference between men's sports and women's sports. It doesn't do anything for the women's sport.
All right, let me ask you and put it to you this way, Rhino. I'm going to pay you $250,000 to play hockey, okay?
Bye.
Okay?
Oh, he's run out the door.
Or I'm going to pay you $5 million to be a pinata in the WNBA, and you try and compete against those ladies every night.
Okay, I'll take that $5 million.
That's the
let me
deal.
get that.
You know, when it comes right down to $250 versus $5 million, you know, it's like I don't care what.
I'm with you.
It's you know what? It all folds, and I'm going to sit back and go. You know what? I got a chance to go up against these guys in this league that does well in terms of a summer venture. It's summer basketball 3-on-3. It's a tour.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It is fun.
I'm all for it. I'm 100%. I support her. I want her to do well. But like I'm saying, I would take that $5 million. Then I'd go back and play NHL hockey for $250,000 if I could. You know, and be able to take the skills that I learned from, you know, getting beaten up on a WNBA court. I don't think I compete with WNBA girls. I know my skills are not going to do well.
It's
Get
obvious.
it.
Right.
But there is an opportunity where I could knock one of them down. I could definitely defend one of them, and I'm only 5'4" because, you know, I'm a stronger guy. I don't know. But at the same time, I want her to do really well, but then if she looks really bad, what does that say about the sport for women?
By the way, so Ice Cube is saying their contract with her would allow her to play in both leagues.
Okay.
It's a question of whether the WNBA
they'd be crazy
allow
not to.
It'd be crazy not to.
Because
biggest
all
star to
of
come
the
in 20 years.
That's exactly right. All the promotion that their league would get, because as soon as she's done with that, it might actually sell a ticket to a WNBA game. I mean, really, because they don't sell tickets. We know that.
And he's going to match her up with Nancy Lieberman, who is one of the perennial, widely known, most excellent women coaches in all of basketball history.
Oh, cool.
So that's his plan. It's like, you'll be on a team. Nancy Lieberman's going to be the coach. Here's what we're doing.
I love it.
$5 million, and you can still play.
Take that money, girl.
I'm with you though, Rhino, on the fact that I don't know that I think she can compete, and I'll be gladly
take that
prove
money,
her.
right?
Absolutely, 100%. Marketing's brilliant, all of it. So I don't know that she can compete, but I'm willing to watch. I'd probably watch.
Please.
I mean, because that's going to be, I mean, that's their ultimate goal. How many eyeballs can we get?
I will root for a biological girl going into a men's sport and dominating. I will. I want her to beat up every single one of those guys. I want her to sink it. I just don't see it. I've watched her play. It's great against girls. It's great against college girls where most of them won't go to the WNBA because they're not even good enough to get into a subpar basketball league like the WNBA. So she's playing against girls like that, shooting from her chest. Look, she's good. She's great. She can't compete with men. I'm just afraid it will make it look like, this is why girls shouldn't be like, I don't want that to happen for her. I want her to win. I want her to get that money, and I want her to play well. I really do.
I think you're right.
I don't want to see her get hurt, though.
Board up, Joe. What's on your mind?
If I were her, I wouldn't do it. I would say, I don't want to be a sideshow. If you want to watch me play, watch the women's league. Ours is valid, too.
But nobody's going to. That's a failing.
Give me that money, though.
You're failing right there.
She is bigger than any athlete in the NCAA right now.
If you look at the men's, it's still 10-1 viewership men's to women's. She may
not
be
basketball.
Yeah, it is.
Last year's national championship.
I just read it last night.
Last year's national championship, women's had more viewers. She is the biggest thing in basketball for college athletes. I would say carry it over. You want to watch me? Watch the rest of the women.
That's a failing message.
That's what I would say.
Yeah, that's a failing message. I mean, I'm with you. It's a failing message.
Pride-wise, I think you're completely
integrity,
wrong.
pride. Come on.
Whatever.
What integrity, pride. You beat men in this sport. That's pride, man. I'd have all the pride in the world to that, right?
Morning Extra on Extra 106.3. Just before we wrap the segment, I want you to hear AOC because we've been poking fun at her, and I'll let you decide what you think. She was on a PBS show, and they were asking her pretty much softball questions, and I want you to hear her responses to them.
But I am, of course, the dynamic there in terms of geopolitics and the war in the Middle East is very different than people expressing their First Amendment right to protest.
Well, yes, but I also think that what people are starting to see, at least in the occupation of Palestine, is
where?
Just an increasing crisis of humanitarian condition. And that to me is just where I tend to come from on this issue.
You use the term the occupation of Palestine. What did you mean by that?
I think what I meant is like the settlements that are increasing in some of these areas and places where Palestinians are experiencing difficulty in access to their housing and home.
Do you think you can expand on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd also I am not the expert on geopolitics.
Clearly.
Oh, my God.
Not the expert.
You run your mouth like you're the expert. And again, here we are blaming, first of all, there's no Palestine.
That's right.
Second of all, let me tell you this. You sit here and blame Israel for not taking care of people that Iran and everybody else are funding the government behind in a terrorist organization. And not one of these... I almost said a bad word. Not one of these actors is going to go out there and actually tell you the truth about why are we not looking at the Muslim nations that support Hamas and continue to funnel money? Why are we not looking at $6 billion that the United States government gave to Iran for humanitarian needs? Why is that not being used? Why aren't we getting on them? Why aren't we getting on UN to call out the real truth and the real problems that these people are being held hostage? There's a reason that there's over 1 million people that are Palestinian living in Israel, because they don't want to live on the other side. There's a reason why Palestinians fight with the IDF instead of Hamas, because they're tired of being used as pawns.
That's exactly right. And she's such an idiot.
So dumb.
She can't even elaborate it because she's not an expert.
But she could call for the death of Jews, right?
That's right. Just as crazy and smoking hot as you expect her to be. Just crazy and good looking. That's the reason she's elected. I swear to the.
You're 100% right.
I believe that's
Who can doubt that?
There is a new store I want to shop at because Snoop Doggy Dogg told me to. Next on Extra 106.3 as we wrap up the Morning Extra. Download the app so you can listen live and on demand. We're on the air until 10.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's the camera. How's it going? Here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
Since the 1952 presidential election, Democrats, for instance, have told us the Republicans want to take away your Social Security. And they're telling us that now. Because the idea of having retirement money snatched away from you just as you're finishing your work life is one of the most frightening things you can imagine.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Is this the year you want to grow your business? Do you want to expand your team? Build a new office? Hey, it's Tug, and I want to tell you about First Liberty Building and Loan. Aren't you exhausted by going to lenders, building a relationship, and a week later, you're dealing with a new person? You won't have to with First Liberty Building and Loan. The Frost family has been helping businesses grow since the 90s, and they can help you too. They know the patterns, they know the ebbs and flows, and they know business. Now the Frost family wants to know you. FirstLibertyGA.com. Buying a building, building a building, buying a franchise, or expanding. Reach out and spend 10 minutes with them. See if you're a fit for them and if they're a fit for you. FirstLibertyGA.com. By the way, if you're a young banker and you want to work with a team that's faith-friendly with a culture of excellence, First Liberty might be a good match. Reach out to First Liberty Building and Loan at FirstLibertyGA.com. That's FirstLibertyGA.com.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, CPAPSETC.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one has been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT. That's 404-BAIL-OUT. Or online at atlbail.com.
Hey there, it's Tara, owner and publisher of Our Town Monthly, where you'll find familiar faces, local voices, and community businesses like JRM Management.
Thanks, Tara. I'm Missy Miller, event coordinator at JRM Management. We are your event specialist. We're excited to see you at the Georgia Food and Wine Festival, March 21st through the 24th. We'll have food, beverages, cooking demos, live music, shopping, and more. Or maybe you're looking for an event where you can bring the entire family. Join us at the Marietta Community Egg Hunt Friday, March 29th, and the Northeast Cobb Community Egg Drop Saturday, March 30th. There will be multiple egg hunts by age and lots of kid-friendly activities. Also, look out for the Kennesaw Big Shanty Festival, the Smyrna Spring Donquil Festival, and of course, the North Georgia State Fair. There's always something fun happening in our community, and we want you to know about it. That's why we love our partnership with Our Town Monthly.
You are so right, Missy. If JRM is there, the fun follows. Friends, check out all the exciting community events hosted by JRM Management. And remember, our town is your town at Our Town Monthly.
Hey Atlanta, it's Ben, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show, proudly brought to you by Peach State Pride. Each and every weekend, we bring you all the issues going on around the globe and what America's ultimate role is in order to drive our agenda forward as conservatives. And if you ever miss an episode, you can download everything I've ever done on Apple, Spotify, or you can go to the podcast park. See you around, Atlanta.
Hi-Res Studios, Inc. seeks gameplay programmer in Alpharetta, Georgia to develop and integrate developer-facing software development kits and debug tools. Requires a bachelor's degree in computer science or related field or foreign education equivalent, plus 1 year of experience in game development. Position is hybrid remote. To apply, submit resume to talent at hirezstudios.com. Again, to apply, submit resume to talent at hirezstudios.com.
Hey sandwich lovers, today is your lucky day. There's a whole new way to roll for lunch or dinner delight with Nucky's Hoagies in the Roswell Corners Shopping Center. Now open. Nucky's Hoagies in Roswell is family owned and operated by the Sub-Sisters, Stacy and Shannon, whose love language is food and Nucky's Hoagies, their passion. When you bite into a Nucky's Hoagie, you'll taste the difference. The softest hoagie rolls ever, along with hunger-quenching sandwich combinations. Make Nucky's Hoagies in Roswell on Woodstock Road your new favorite spot for lunch or dinner.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
The Morning Xtra. Glenn Beck, Clay and Buck, The Kimmer Show, Jesse Kelly, Jimmy Fala, and Guy Benson. The biggest lineup of conservative voices in the South are on Xtra 106.3 FM and the Xtra 106.3 app.
Download it so you can listen live and on demand. Is the Shroud of Turin real? That will be the discussion in the Glenn Beck program. He picks up at 10, about 10 minutes from now. I listened to the first part of it yesterday. Jeremiah Johnson, I think is the pastor's name that he's having on.
Yeah, it was amazing. Fascinating stuff.
Unreal. There's a new book out that the pastor has written, and it's fascinating. I think I pulled up on my phone.
Was it Body of...
Oh, shoot. Hang on. Let's see if I can find it. I'm going to...
It was really good. I love the entire interview. It was really good with Glenn Beck.
Body of Proof.
Body of Proof. This man has traveled all over, and, he's done this for a long time. And, yes, he happens to be a religious man, but he really digs deep into, going and finding facts out. And I thought it was brilliant the way that he presented this book yesterday. Yeah. I thought it was a lot of fun listening to him with Glenn Beck.
Yeah, anytime I get that kind of detail, and when he's storytelling and he's talking about, especially with Easter coming up, and I think that's why it's so attractive right now, is he's telling the story of Christ going into Jerusalem. It's just fascinating. And then they give you the cliffhanger yesterday, and they'll get back to it today.
Yeah,
so
the Shroud of Turin, which...
And he says it's real.
Well, he says it's real. Glenn Beck says it's real.
I don't know. I wish I could tell you.
If you're not so familiar with it, it's as it sounds, like it's a shroud, but it has an image that looks as if it was placed on Jesus. And so you've had people that are saying, well, it can't be from the right time, it can't be from the right spot, but this is one of those like mysteries where I'm kind of curious how he's going to say that this is real.
Absolutely. I can't wait. I can't wait to listen to it, and hope you will too on the Xtra 106.3 app. So there is, and I don't think we're going to be able to play it because Vox is spaced out. Can you play it from the other computer, Joey? Sorry, Joe is working hard behind the scenes.
My computer is working really hard too right now. Right now it just says cloning in progress.
That's right.
So
let's go.
We're going to see what's going to happen in a little while.
Yeah.
About 3 hours from now.
Boy, the copy of Kimmer is going to be scary.
No doubt. The AI. Are we good, Joe? Yeah, sort of. Okay, he's giving me the sort of, I don't know what that means, but I want to take you to 502 South Elm Street, High Point, North Carolina.
Wonderful ad.
I've seen this ad before. It's just been forever ago, and it was on Instagram. And
I'd never seen it before.
You've never seen it? Okay.
I'd never seen it before until you sent it to me.
Fascinating. And it is for the Red House. It's a furniture store in High Point, North Carolina. Because in High Point, all those big manufacturers, I think, Broyhill and some of those furniture manufacturers, sure. I mean, that's like the hotbed for it.
Yeah, similar to how Dalton's Carpet.
Yes.
They're all about furniture there.
Snoop shared this, and I watched it again, and it made me smile, and I wanted to share it with you. The ad for Red House Furniture. Is for me.
Two singers.
Yeah. I'll be. Buy furniture. Listen. Don't leave out anybody. Don't want to leave out anybody.
How much fun do you have when you put that together?
and it's so brilliant because if you watch it, I mean, obviously the music's already produced, but they have these two random singers kind of lip sync, if you will, the Red House sing song at the Red House. They're singing along with it. It's absolutely brilliant. And I don't know when this was created. I've seen it before, but it's been several years ago. And it's still showing up in Snoop Dogg's freaking Instagram feed. That's how brilliant it is. It's so bad that it's amazingly good. And if you get a chance, just go click on Snoop's Instagram. I'm sure it's at Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
I can't remember specifically, but you'll find it there, and then you'll get a good laugh too. At the Red House, where black people and white people buy furniture, and
Hispanic people
and
too.
Hispanic people too.
Hispanic people too.
Right at the very end, he wasn't gonna let that go. So good, man.
The guy laying on the bed. This is a perfect bed for a white person. And a black person. He's like this dramatic pause.
The one in the middle, he was like, I'm white, and the Red House is for me. Like, he's just reading it straight off of the paper. And the production looks like an 80s, like, lo-fi.
Local access television.
It is absolutely brilliant, and it will make you smile all day long. And there's... In the ad, it's white people and black people shaking hands just all the way through it.
Thank you, Tug. You made me smile last night. It was funny.
It can't help but make you smile because it's innocent and perfect. And so that's what we're looking for. Just some smiles once in a while. This is the Morning Xtra on Xtra 106.3. Beck is up next for Rhino, for Los, and Board Up, Goey, Virgin River. I'm Tug. Y'all come back now. You hear? Hey, it's Tug. The Morning Xtra has you covered from 6 to 10, and Kimmer's got you on the ride home.
I don't like Tuesday. Monday, Monday's just sucks and it's suck. Tuesday is just the beginning of, oh my God, the rest of the week.
No, Tuesdays is a lucky day to start something. If you want to start something in your life, Tuesday's a good day to do it. It's a lucky day for that.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, that's
some kind of Irish thing.
Roman times, I think.
Irish thing, kind of a Roman Irish thing back in the biblical days of Jesus, I think pretty much.
Jesus
he
said so.
He said, hell, if you people...
You people. He did say it once. He got mad at the disciples, and he says,
people?
how long do I have to put up with you people? He literally